You gotta check this out. I'm gonna play this one. That was pretty good, wasn't it? I thought it was. How's everybody doing tonight? Good? I gotta get rid of this NASA crap. I don't know why they keep sending it to me. But I got a really cool song. You saw it. I put it in the chat, guys. Hey, Super. Hey, Cubby. There's a link at the top if you want to come join me. We're going to cover Professor Who tonight. And guess who? Professor Dave. If you've watched any of his videos, he's actually attacking his own side. He attacks everybody, and it's stupid as hell. He's got to understand he has a belief to start with. But I wanted to play this. That's probably Cubby. Hey, Cubby, how you doing tonight?
Not bad. How you? Hey, I didn't realize. Did PJ get a different Rumble?
Oh, he's put up a new channel. He's got it's the same one basically, but yeah, okay. He got it going again.
I was gonna say
he's doing movies.
I wasn't subscribed to it. Hey, love.
Have you seen this one yet? Planned by Heaves.
Say what?
Planned by Heaves.
No.
Check it out.
I was kind of watching it when I clicked on it, but I didn't see the whole thing.
Oh, it's about 9/11, but it's Stand By Me basically. You heard that part, right?
Yeah.
But it's Planned by Heaves. Check it out.
Music ain't gonna get you copyrighted, is it?
I hope not.
Okay.
They changed the lyrics.
Oh, okay.
When those flights succumbed and the buildings fell and the truth's not the only casualty, then I woke in a rage. Oh, I woke in a rage when I learned it was planned by Heaves. Yes, 911 was planned by Heaves. Not damn Hodges. Oh, planned by Heaves. Planned by Heaves. It's a lie that the Pentagon just bungled it all, or that jet fuel could have softened those steel beams. And the crimes Dov Zakheim committed were oh so clear, and the thrones were so long, scanned by Heaves. And all those flags are planned by Heaves, are planned by Heaves. Don't stand down, you've been scammed by Heaves. Guess that hips.
Yeah, you get it, don't you?
Oh, I get it.
Have
There's
you
a
heard
big
of the Lavon affair? Yeah,
the what?
the Lavon affair. You ever heard of that one?
Not that I know of.
Well, back in the I think it was the mid '70s, there were some bombs that went off in Egypt and Syria
Mhm.
and blew up some monumental structures with people in it.
Mhm.
And somebody got caught planning it out in advance. And guess who it was?
The Saudis.
No, no. She's real.
Oh, I should have known better. Yeah.
Yep. There was a Zionist politician who planned those out. He got
Yeah.
caught. It's kind of basically almost the same scenario. I think it was 3 different buildings, and I think they did about like 4.
What was that called now?
The Lavon affair. You can look it up.
I'm surprised I haven't heard of it. I'm usually pretty good with those things, but
They were trying to get, I think, Syria at war with Egypt or something. So
Mhm.
Israel was going to take advantage of it and attack it at the same time
Mhm.
and take back more of the promised land.
Mhm.
Ugh.
Tale as old as time.
Yeah.
Just keeps going and going.
Now they got it down to a science, don't they?
Yeah, it seems like it.
People just keep buying that they hate each other so much that they got to kill each other. It's not really them. It's
You were on Saab the other night when he had his daughter and her friend or whatever up.
Yeah.
I was fascinated. That's how big of a psyop that 9/11 was. I was fascinated. I can't remember which one of them said it, but it was like Saab was asking him about the Challenger, and the one girl, I don't remember which, said that she couldn't remember much past 9/11. I was like, man, that's fascinating.
wow.
Yeah, I know. It's wild to think that about that. And yeah, I bet that goes for a lot of people. I mean, and no offense to them. I know a lot of people just don't really either care or just don't look into things, which is fine. I don't fault them. I mean, there's a time in my life where I could care less about anything either. But
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. There's a more to the story in 9/11. If you
Oh,
want me to,
yeah,
like fill you into how far back that goes.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think it
it's
was
deep.
back. Well, it's not just between like sex. It's like it's really had a lot to do with Rockefeller. His the family wanted that plot of land way before there were towers there or anything else.
Mhm.
And the Rockefeller family were going to build a cathedral there at one point in time, a Gothic cathedral, because John Dee became a Gothic kind of guy after the great grandfather, I think. I'm trying to remember his name exactly, but yeah, he wanted to build there, and he'd been trying to get that land forever. And
Mhm.
there's been a feud over that block in Manhattan. They wanted to do something with it. Finally, I think his grandson or great grandson actually built the towers there eventually.
Yeah.
But he had to uproot a lot of old world families that have been on that block, delis, apartments, all kinds of just basic everyday stuff. He uprooted these families and kicked them out. So it's been a feud over it for a long time.
Mhm.
And Rockefeller, I think, wanted to just burn it all eventually because it became bad blood between the two. There were 3 or 4 families that lived on that block that got kicked out. So.
Well, there was either a test run or they attempted to, prior to that with the World Trade Center before. I don't remember what year it was, but it was a few years before 9/11. But
I think it was around 96.
Yeah, I want to say something like that. But yeah,
they put some vans and some bombs in the basement, tried to blow it up.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was a test run or if it was an actual event, but either way, it seemed like they were, they've been trying for a long time, like you said.
Yeah, they've been back and forth, but what it was in the basement there's a vault that Rockefeller had gold in. And a lot of it, I think it was like $6 million, or more dollars worth of gold in that vault. I think they were trying to stop that. Yeah, I got to get the exact figures, but I think that's about right. Yeah.
Well,
so that disappeared.
Have you ever heard
after 9/11? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. Have you ever heard of Black Tom?
Oh, I've heard of Black Tom. Yeah.
Oh, okay. A lot of people haven't heard of it, and it's like, to me, it's funny. They don't teach it in school. I mean, they don't. Supposedly the biggest terroristic, event that ever happened in America, and yet it's never even talked about. And half, more than half, I bet half or more than half people you'd ask that to wouldn't even know what it is.
Well, I think originally, this is my theory, that the real targets during 9/11 were the first responders and the firefighters that actually were trapped in. They were kind of like conspiracy theorists, and if you check into their histories of who all were in there, and
Mm-hmm.
after that, even the families have health repercussions forever, and there's people fighting for their livelihood of all the first responders and firefighters families that were there too. Even the ones survived the event, they have cancers and lung problems and all kinds of other health problems, and they don't have any insurance or anything really to pay for their recovery. And they're public service, man. They were doing their job. They responded,
Yeah.
But they don't get any compensation at all. And all we get is what? Excuses and made up science behind what happened.
Yeah, it was a wild time, man. That was right when I went into the military. So it was like, it's a big part of my story in life, I guess.
One of the first things you looked into, huh?
Wait, were you just talking about? Well, I was
9/11.
talking about 9/11. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm talking about
Yeah.
9/11. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the first things you looked
It
into.
really wasn't even
Yeah.
one of the first things I looked into. It was, it's crazy to live through it, trained for, I don't know how to put this. I was trained for, I'll just put it this way, trained for desert warfare prior to 9/11. Nice. And then, going into that type of stuff. And then, in the end, finding out like you're all been, you've been like, yeah, I was a young kid out of high school. I didn't know crap about crap, still wet behind the ears. So, once you find out you've been lied to like that, it's pretty wild stuff. I'll just put it that way.
Well, I was told something when I was a little younger. If a politician opens his mouth, he's lying.
Yeah. Well, who was it? Ronald Reagan that said, "We're the government and we're here to help."
Yeah, sure. Somebody else is coming.
Well, he didn't say that, but he was referencing.
Who's cosmological what? I have no idea who this is.
Who are you talking about?
I got somebody trying to join this name, cosmological something.
Oh, I have no clue.
Me neither.
Never heard that one. Bring them up. Let's see what we got. Make sure they ain't gonna do anything.
Yeah, I know.
They got a camera or anything they can show you?
I don't know. I can't. I don't know how to do the hiding thing. I can look at them first though before they come in.
That's what I mean. Tell them to show their face or something.
Yeah, I don't want to get porn bombed out.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can. Can you hear us? Let's see if I can open them up. You can talk, cosmological whatever. I have no idea who you are.
We'll just call you Cosmo.
Yeah. Now let's open up the door, see what happens.
All right, let's give it a whirl, I guess.
Okay. Hello.
What's up?
It's Porter, dude.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Can't be coming in here with stock accounts.
Well, no. On my Flat Earth Fridays on X and all, I go by Cosmological Crisis.
Gotcha.
Oh, there's one of those. Yeah.
So yeah, and that's why I put Porter at the end so y'all could see it. So, but yeah, it's all good.
See, it doesn't come out in the chat. It doesn't like.
I got
you. I
get
cosmological. I don't get the.
I got you.
I know. So is Kebble's far behind? Yeah.
Oh, she's I get off late because I work at a tattoo shop. So.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, but yeah, she's getting cleaned up, and then I'm gonna get in there.
Right on.
Yeah.
The tattoo shop you work at, where are you at?
It's in Amite, Louisiana. Yeah. So it's about about 40 minutes from my house, actually. So it's not that bad. It's kind of a reflecting kind of time before work and then on the way home. So it's kind of cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like friends that work in parlors and stuff too. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I do like 7 today, but
what do you charge on the hour?
Well, we actually go by the job, and then if it's big enough, we don't really get an hour rate now just because a convid came through, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and so we just do by the job. But I mean, you know, $180 tattoo takes probably about 30, 45 minutes to do. So if you do 7 of them a day, kind of like I did today.
Yeah, you'll never guess how much I paid for my first tattoos. Just take a guess. I had 3 of them done consecutively. This is back in '88.
80, 70 bucks.
Not quite. I paid $25 a tattoo.
That's right. Really? Well, we do have days like that, but they're like specials and they're a little small.
I'll show you right quick.
Yeah. We still get.
Yeah, they actually did freehand work on me. If you want to look, see.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Hold on one second.
Most of my glasses
on. Oh. Yeah. Oh yeah, Bob Bar going around.
Thorns. He did a freehanded work. See.
Thorns. Okay, Thorns. I got you.
Yeah, these are over 35 years old, man. Yeah,
right
you
on.
Gotta fit your tattoos right, dude.
Yeah.
Most of my tats are like jail tats.
Yeah.
I mean, not literally, but they look like it.
Yeah.
I
got 4 altogether, and I didn't pay more than $20 a tattoo. So.
Right on.
I knew the guy really well. He taught my brother how to do work. Yeah. So my brother was an artist. So.
Okay. Yeah. That's what's up. But yeah, I've been doing it for like 21 years, dude, and I was doing it on the side, and then all that stuff took place, and then my clients just ran out of skin to get tattooed, and so yeah, and I've got a Louisiana decor business that Pebbles and I both do, and it's like this character sign that spells out Louisiana and all kind of different little memorabilia type little symbols. So yeah, and it does really good. It's actually a Tabasco. You ever heard of the hot sauce called Tabasco?
Yeah.
Yeah, Louisiana hot sauce. Well, it's got that for the ends. It's 3 of the bottles making an N for Louisiana, and then there's like the L is the state of Louisiana, and it's got a swamp scene in it. It's in blue, and so yeah, I'll share it sometime and show you all what's up. But we did pretty good right before you know, the COVID, and we were selling just prints for $40 a pop. Right, we sold 2,600 in the first year.
That's hot.
Yeah. That's how popular it was. It was amazing. So it's a gift. God gave it to me and Pebbles, and we've been doing good with it. It's been keeping us alive. Just that one, because there's millions and millions of people in Louisiana. You know, a few million. Sure. So, but yeah, that's kind of my background of what we do. Me and Pebbles.
You guys don't do anything like put any of your stuff on like an Etsy or anything like that?
Well, we got a business page. I got 8,000 followers.
Same difference.
On my brother does the same thing. He does Facebook. So he sells his product on there. He's got a site. He got a group called Shaman Designs or Shamanic Designs. Sorry, and he does like DNA art. You know, and he does DMT stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that visionary art. What's his name that he does all the tool art work?
I've seen Alex Gray's work before. Yeah, here and there.
Yes. Insane. Him
and his wife do the same thing.
Squares.
I know.
Oh my gosh. He's got a temple though, it's kind of questionable, which I get it, but he's into alchemy. I'm sure he's a Mason. You know he is. He's high.
I think he does a lot of Vedic style artwork.
Yeah. That's the same stuff that Klaus Schwab is into.
Really?
Yeah, you ought to see that cloak that Klaus Schwab was wearing during they had something that was going on. And of course, to be in that type of gear, that's ritualistic. Like, you know, that's, and I don't know if you've seen those pictures with Klaus and that he's got this brown thing on, it's got those symbol suns. It looks like a sun that was on the hand of Moloch. If the one that's in the Vatican grounds. Yes. So it's kind of questionable. It's a bunch of weird stuff. Anyway.
Yeah. That's unusual for an economics professor to actually have on, you know.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, that's a little throwed.
My buddy
speaks for
himself. My buddy got a tattoo one time, and he you know the zigzag man on the zigzag papers, the old like
right.
I can't think of that what he is, but anyway, he went and got the tattoo, and the tattoo guy put 6 fingers on him, and he didn't notice how it was all done and stuff. But I was like, you know what, man? I was like, that's kind of unique that way, actually.
Yeah, that was a thing in our history, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's kind of weird.
A lot of the so-called giants had 6 digits.
Oh, you're talking about that? Yeah, I got you now.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
But I was like, it's kind of unique that way, man. Not everybody's gonna have that, instead of getting it traditional.
That's right.
Have you guys ever seen The Princess Bride?
Yeah.
He's looking for the man with 6 fingers.
Yep.
You killed my father.
Anybody want the peanut?
Andre was a classic, dude.
Rest in peace.
Oh yeah. I got to be on the same street as him at one point in time.
Andre?
I never got to meet him. Yeah. He went to eat at a restaurant down the road from where I worked, and we heard about it. He went to Amarillo, Texas, and ate the 72-ounce steak. And I worked at a steakhouse in Oklahoma City, and everybody was talking about it all the way down in Oklahoma City when he got there. So people were stopping, Andre's down in Amarillo eating the steak now. And I'm like, really?
When I was in the military, the USO would always bring in wrestlers, to for morale type of things, and they would they put on little events and stuff. So I met the Undertaker. That dude was freaking huge. Undertaker and Booker T in China, and I met Macho Man, came and ate in the mess hall with us, but he was old, he was about towards when he was in his NWO days. But
he's an old Navy boy, right?
Huh?
He's an old sailor, dude.
Yeah, and he played baseball.
Yeah. I lived in the Carolinas when I was growing up as a kid, and WWF was big, dude. We had stars going through at. Ric Flair lived up the road from us, actually.
Oh, wow.
Well, yeah. He never was there.
That was Ric Flair was a blonde haired dude, wasn't
he? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Nature Boy.
Nature Boy, yep. That's him. Yep.
Well, I got to work on his house once, too. I got to put lights in his house. I worked for an electric company. We went out to TKK. It's a gated community, and I got to go put a fan and a light in his house.
Wow.
Recess lighting. Yeah. But I didn't get to meet him.
How big was it? How big was the house?
It wasn't too huge. It was more spread out. It's on a lake, so it's a lake house.
Okay. That's cool.
And when I lived in Flagstaff, Whoopi Goldberg lived 2 blocks over. She didn't live there. She had a house 2 blocks over from my house. And Ted Danson's from Flagstaff.
I can't believe those two are married.
That was weird, dude.
Wow.
She had a nice $2 million house. It was 4 blocks over from the place I rented in Munns Park, right outside of Flagstaff. And the lights were always on. She had a big loop driveway, and the whole place was lit up all the time, but nobody was ever there. It was just right on the golf course, too. We had a golf course that ran through the neighborhood. It was like in the country club. And I rented a house out there for $800 a month, $900 a month. But the thing is, if you actually bought a house there, the cost of utilities alone would have been double what I would have paid for in a year.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's just because it's the neighborhood, man. It's real estate. When it comes down to it, it's about location.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what quality you got. Yeah, just where you are.
That's right. Yeah. Well, now there's this thing with because everybody was trying to do those what do they call it? Where you rent the little place for the weekend or whatever, the Airbnb.
Airbnb.
Oh, there's this big federal thing now that they passed, so you can't do it unless you get all this other stuff now. Yeah. So
what, have an Airbnb?
Yes. Yeah, they got these guidelines and all this. Yeah, the government slowed it down or pretty much halted it.
Why?
Well, people were coming up. Yeah, sustainable development, dude. That's it.
I guess
if they want to get bigger and have more, but they don't want anybody else to,
Of course.
Yeah,
the have and the have-nots, dude. Yeah. Status quo.
I used to rent a few Airbnbs, but I haven't done it in a while. But it's been a couple of years since I did. I'd go out of town for a concert or something, and I'd rent one because it's just way better than staying in a hotel. But anyway,
I misspelled that.
What's
Said you
that?
could make a killing.
I misspelled somebody's name. Sorry.
I missed
I'm
that.
saying hi. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm
I
talking
just
about.
missed the L in Alpha 16 or whatever.
Oh, okay. I
okay,
couldn't hear you before.
Right on.
So how's everybody doing in the wonderful world of Flat Earth
Right.
and all the rest of the fringe groups out here in the world? Did you
Seems
get a
like
chance?
starting drama everywhere.
Oh yeah. Well, most of it's coming out of the other side of the camp, dude.
Of
Pay
course
attention
it
to
is.
what happened on Flats, man.
It's everywhere.
They gotta-
It seems like.
Yeah, they got to protect that thing they did down in Antarctica for some reason, like it's a legitimate thing. McKeegan's got a lot of his stuff tied up in that production.
I don't
'Cause he
even
did
pay
the-
attention to that guy.
He looks like he's just like his hair's falling out, dude. He just looks rough, bro.
He does.
He looks like something's whipping his arse.
Well, if you keep lying so much, you're gonna end
Yeah,
up falling apart.
that's right. The energy just kind of all the negativity. It's a negative field. Once you get that positive field and you're about truth and you're really resonating in it and you're around people in it, you just float, man. And he's just looking like hell.
I'm not the
yeah.
only one to say it, but I said the other night on Sav, like I feel like if you see Wissett and Jaron and like Karen B, it's like they all have these dark sunken eyes and stuff.
Oh,
It's like they look like they're stressed out to the max, and it's like I mean I don't doubt that they are, but
yeah,
Lack of sleep, dude. Lack of sleep.
seems like it.
That'll do
Yeah,
it to you.
something lack of sleep and bad juju.
that was it. It was the talk. They all want to talk about energy now. Get some of it, you know.
Yeah.
Get some of your own medicine.
Yep. So if you want to be successful in that arena, you become an alcoholic like Professor Dave. That's how I was going to do a show on tonight.
Wow. Has he been getting on lives slurring?
Yeah, he's been doing lives.
Slurring? Was he slurring?
Oh no, he did that one night. He actually sat there and drank a half a bottle of very expensive brandy and debunked Lord Jamar.
Gross.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was.
Drunk a log. Yeah, well, he's already bad sober. Oh, I know that. Yeah. He's like he pretty much laid out everything how it works in ignorance. That just tells you he's got probably some book sense, but not a lick of common sense. And if you don't have them hand in hand, you're really not that smart, brother.
No, man, half of them couldn't change a tire.
No.
Yeah. Professor Dave actually couldn't get his doctorate or any. I don't think he finished his bachelor's even in chemistry, and he couldn't hold down a job in the field neither. So he decided to keep becoming.
Did you see that debate with James Tour that he did? Oh, okay. James Tour is a synthetic chemist, right? I study about the genome.
Okay, and stuff. I know what you're talking about now, but I didn't see it. No.
You know what I'm talking about?
But I didn't get to watch it.
Yeah. Where the origins of life and how they can create a cell, and it was so, God, and it's like he actually believes. That's the thing. I think when it came to that certain topic, he actually genuinely thinks that they do. And once James Tour broke it down, he was having these eureka moments, and you could see it. Like it was like, wait a second, I didn't know that about that because you're not a friggin' synthetic chemist, dude. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like he just dismantled him like eloquently too. I mean, James is really smart. Him was genetic entropy. I don't know if you're familiar with genetic entropy. It's like we're printing ourselves away, right? He said there's more disintaneous mutations. I think that's how you say it. Disintaneous, meaning they're bad mutations rather than good. So we're actually printing ourselves out. Yes.
Yeah, I get you. So entropic law is actually in effect completely. It's deteriorating our.
Yeah, we're just slowly printing ourselves away. It's weird. Yep, and they carry down to our ancestors have some of the same mutations that stay within the genome. And it's like, dude, our genome, they go to sequence it. See, he was an overseer. He wasn't part of the project, but what he did was report what he saw. And he was one of the ones right there at the front lines when anything that was found that was miraculous, right? And so they found that they could do like say 300,000 base pairs, right? And then they would go back and they would resequence each one of those base pairs, and they found that every 8 hours, two base pairs within separate bridges would mutate. Not enough to change your anatomy, but enough to where if you went back to reference it, the sequence changed. It changed on them. So you can't go off a sequence in stone. That's one thing. And then this is another miraculous thing. Every time they get in within a certain perimeter to actually see the functionality of the genome, it collapses in milliseconds. And it forms
you told me about that.
Yeah. A 6-dimensional octahedron. Even the most advanced computational analytics programs cannot even begin to decipher. So, I mean, they can see the XY from a distance, and they can see some of the proteins. There's a long billion base pairs, but engineering.
You're roboting, Porter, a little bit.
This part, it's am I?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's hitting engineering. So it's just like, dude, they don't know, dude. They don't know none of that stuff, dude. I mean, they know from base. I think I don't think it's even anything we're discovering. I think it's what we're being taught through some kind of ancient text of alchemy. That's what I believe. I don't believe.
Well,
I mean,
it would make sense, like what you were saying. Like it's defensive. It's gonna. Like you said, it fights. It retracts itself, right? When they actually try to go manipulate.
Yeah, well, proteins do it too, dude. Proteins fold. The folding of proteins. They're trying to get an analytical program that can predict what they do. So they've never witnessed what it looks like as it folds. It folds within milliseconds, they say. So if it takes a second to look at it or to go towards it to look at it, that means it kind of knows you're looking. Wouldn't you say? I'm just saying. I mean, logically thinking, you can't look at it in milliseconds. It takes at least a second to get a focus in on it. And by that time, just within that, like not even a blink, Roger.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It is. So God made it like that to begin with. I'm pretty sure it's got like a defense mechanism.
Yeah. Yes. Electrons do the same thing. The double slit experiment.
Yeah.
Electrons do that. They collapse on observation. And, a lot of these people say, oh, it's the energy thing because you're focusing towards it and it's superpositioned and all this. And, well, no, they put mirrors behind the slits too, and it collapsed. No kind of device. Yes. They put a mirror behind it to see which one it went through, and it went through the one on the right.
Yeah.
One of them.
Exactly what you're saying.
Yep.
It's like it thinks for itself almost, but you almost have to be there for it to think for itself. Because I know they've done the experiment with no observers, and they don't get the same results.
That's right. It's weird. And then they can't see what it really is to know. You know what I'm saying? Because of how it is functioning. That's the mysterious thing. That's a paradoxical to them. They're slobbering. And every college comes up with the same exact results. And I think if anybody had a eureka moment or some kind of like breakthrough with it, dude, you know how humans are. They have got to publish it. They want the rights to it. Wait, I want Nobel's Peace Prize. I want this type of recognition. And that's what it's about too when it comes to the science field. It's almost like getting signed for a record label. Look at Kary Mullis. All right. He came up with a reverse transcription polymerase chain reaction. That RT-PCR, that 6-inch swab that they put up in your nasopharynx.
Yeah.
Yeah. His method. Okay. So they used that as a test in 2019. I'm not going to go into specifics with terms. But they use that method. It's a method. It doesn't tell you if you're going to be or anything. Mm-hmm. All it does is complete the DNA sequence. That method is the reason why murderers, right, that had a little bit of DNA on a weapon was exonerated or put in jail. because they could take the PCR and they could run it through so many cycles and it would complete the sequence, and then they could match it up with a killer. It's pretty deep. And it's actually exonerated people too from jail, the PCR method. But they used it as a test in 2019. It's pretty crazy. Reverse transcription polymerase chain reaction. You know, he invented that method overnight after 6 hits of acid on the way back to Cambridge.
Well, that sounds wonderful, man. Yeah.
He said he was going down the interstate and he said he had this eureka moment. I said that earlier, but yeah, it's his exact words though. And anytime I get into something with biology or chemistry, that word pops up because it reminds me of him every time. He reminds me of the scientist Brad Pitt in 12 Monkeys. You remember him? He's kind of real witty and touching the top of his head and blinking his eyes a lot. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's how Kary Mullis he's real sporadic but he's, this was a good guy, y'all. He was for humanity. And, he spoke very harshly about Anthony Fauci.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Mr. I got a vaccine for what.
Right.
Yes. The thing about it too is in the science world and in that college world and all that stuff, it's really competitive too, because my buddy worked at Iowa State University, and it's like if they got whoever's above them wants to take credit for their work all the time too. So it's like, if you're not in the know or in with certain people, then they're trying to push you out.
Hey everyone.
Hey.
I'm sorry.
I was like,
I'm just queuing that up. That's all I'm doing.
So check this out. You speaking of the prestige thing?
Yeah.
Kary Mullis was concerned about releasing it because what he did in 3 hours took 27 biologists to do in 20-something days.
Yeah.
Think about how many jobs he took.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. Man. You're stepping on other people's toes.
Yeah, he said in his interview when he come up with the PCR that he sat on it for about a month and a half, and he told 2 other people, and the last person he told was like, you've got to publish this. This is cutting edge. This is going to change the way science is when it comes. You got to do this. And so he's like, well, boom. Yep.
Well, but science is just a method, not a thing. People talk about it like it's a thing, but
right.
They don't do real science necessarily. What they're doing there is more like alchemy to me.
Yeah. Well, chemistry is nothing more than mixing a bunch of molecules that already exist. They never create anything. There's nothing new under the sun. We all know this. Nothing new under the sun. They're merely covalently bonding other molecules together. That's it. They're just mixing stuff together.
Well, on that topic, though, Professor Dave is going after Sabine Hassefeld. You know who that is, right?
Yeah.
She's mad about basically most of the physics that she has to deal with because she's finding out it's mostly just fraud. It's just they're just putting papers out and like it's rubber stamping. We agree. That's a real experiment. Here's a grant. You have tenure at this college, and she sees.
So she's exposing that?
Yeah, she is. And so they're going after her now.
What?
Yep.
Of course they will.
So wait, she's going to be a flat earther soon.
We've been saying that for a while.
I thought she was. She's not a paid shield, y'all. Come on. You think?
I don't know. It's kind of touch and go because she does do work in the field and she gets paid to do it.
Yeah.
But she's
all right. Could she be trying to do this Elon Musk thing where they build her up?
No. She's been up there for a little while. No,
not really.
And she's not really exploded.
Okay.
But
right.
But she's seeing the fraud and she's saying in a couple of her last videos pointing out that they're getting paid for nothing. And she's frustrated because she's actually researching these topics and she's finding some absurdities. Yeah.
Yes. That brings up something. Since you look, are you familiar with Dr. Lee Merritt?
No.
She was speaking out about the graphene oxide and stuff like that, right? Well, the same thing, same exact scenario, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But just wanted to throw that out there. Lee Merritt, she's awesome, a biologist as well, and chemist. But anyway,
I haven't heard of her, but graphene's fascinating.
Dude, did you know that they've got graphene tubes, these nanotubes that they can make with graphene, that they can put in this process that can squeeze carbon and create diamond?
Yeah.
Okay, so they got these nanotubes that are made with graphene That's the veins of whatever. Look, I got a breakdown. Hopefully I was going to try to solve this, but these nanotubes are like finite. Those are the veins of whatever artificial intelligence that's more highly advanced than anything you could ever imagine is what they use for the veins in these things. And I know it sounds weird what I'm saying, but dude, we do not see even, they're 50 years ahead when it comes to artificial intelligence, y'all, of what we don't see. 50 years. I want you to understand what I'm trying to tell you.
Well,
okay, allow that to
when I worked in the telecommunications network, they actually were trying to develop AI back in like 93, 94.
Yes, this is like, yeah, they've already got fully autonomous, like, and I'm sure it's some type of like, it's not a conscious thing, it's a program thing, but it's like almost human like. I mean, it's like you can't tell the difference.
Well, the company they hired to do the work back when I was working was
and it's made with polymers.
Was called Fujitsu was the name of the company. And, Fujitsu, they're the parent company of Panasonic, Pioneer, and Toshiba.
Yes.
And they couldn't pull it off.
And you mix that with DARPA, it's over with.
They couldn't get it to work like they wanted it to. So they handed the reins over to somebody in particular. This was just for fiber optic work. They were trying to develop a switch that could actually transfer data and calls on its own, to think for itself.
Right.
William Gates is the person that stepped in, and he developed a software program that actually could do what they couldn't do. And I know Billy doesn't have, the smarts in himself to do it. He stole most of the technology that he has in Silicon Valley, being the lawyer he is.
Right.
That's how he developed Windows, the corporation. He ripped a lot of the developers out of Silicon Valley out of their technology. So.
Well, the only technology we have is the technology they're giving back to us.
That's not. It's like I said. I think they got text though. I think they're reading from something they're giving something. But if it's the season, it looks like y'all. If that Statue of Liberty is a proclamation of really at loose from the chains, there's no telling what type of technology is coming. I'm just saying. You get what I'm saying? Come on now. Y'all think about that one. Allow that one.
Okay, when I leave out, you'll see the song I had planned to play. You ever seen Justice for All?
All right.
I'm gonna play. What's the name of that song? Shortest Straw. I'm gonna play that on the way out. But I'm gonna use their graphics. So it's Liberty.
Okay, y'all. Listen, I got a topic, and y'all need to help me tear it apart because I've only scratched the surface on it, and I'm trying to get Sav to look into it too, so we can all kind of pick it apart. I just read a newsletter on Google where scientists have found a way to push sound through a crowd and single out a single person. Right? Okay, so I've been looking into terahertz frequencies and wave propagation, different types of resonant frequencies, EMF, electromagnetic fields. I've got probably 3 years in it, and I just know that this is something nobody even talks about. I've heard the silent weapons for silent wars talks and stuff like that with 5G, and everybody wants to talk about, get shielded and all that. Well, I went a step further, and I got into the FCC high dangerous standards and levels of EMF, right? They've changed the actual standard like 4 times in the last 6 years. And the last 3 times it went to a scale like 13 or 14 volts per meter, like actual volts per meter is okay. I was getting registers of 19.8 volts in the ambient atmosphere, enough voltage to power a DeWalt drill.
Wow. Yeah.
Right.
You were getting that in your
and I've got it recorded.
You walk around?
No, it was coming off the Wi-Fi equipment.
Nice. So it's not out not coming from the towers, though. Nothing quite that powerful.
No, this is off the Wi-Fi equipment.
So in that real quick, in that article where they somebody's got an echo.
I think it's porter.
Okay. Well, do they say in that article like what the purpose, like what's behind why they're doing this?
I don't think they're going to give you a purpose.
Yes, for biohealth recognition,
Oh, okay.
so they can find virus, which is in Latin a poison substance.
Gotcha.
Which is called virus, not virus. But yeah, they want to put out health reasons. I've got that paper. I want us all to kind of go over. I want to see if Sav or either you, Roger, could put it on a big screen at some point.
Yeah.
And then there's 3 other papers that I just kind of, I learned how to research through the War College. We have a War College in America, and how to retrieve data and intel. And all you have to do is look for words that seem cool, important, or out of the ordinary, first off. And that's as layman as you can get when you want to really pinpoint a topic and just like dissect it. And that's what I did. And I've got some really neat findings, y'all. There's a reason why. Listen, Roger, and look, Hubby, check this out. When you hear something that everybody has heard, it's because they want us to hear it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, like the vernacular.
The one thing about 5G and the electromagnetic fields is one thing they push is shielding. Shielding. You got to be shielded. Oh, you need to be shielded from this frequency. You need to be shielded. EMF. Okay. So everybody runs out there and they go get the shielding for their room.
Yeah.
And they take the electromagnetic field out of the frequency band, but they don't get, when you block the EMF, the electromagnetic field, the resonance increases because you're stopping that part of there's 2 parts to a wave.
Stopping it from going back
You've
out.
got this sound. You've got a sound, and then you've got the energy, right? So when you block the energy, the sound increases. If you block the sound, the energy increases. It's wave propagation, dude. And that's just how it works. There's a right-hand rule. Okay. So the power is always traveling horizontally and the sound is vertical. And that's how it's coming. Boom. And dude, if you shield yourself, that sound, when you get older, you become more in tune with your surroundings. You can see things differently. You can interpret things differently. You are mature and you can hear things. Okay. In your inner ear, you have actual calcium carbonate structures, right? And they're vertically standing. And it can tell, it gives you your equilibrium.
Doesn't Lev sorry to stop you real quick. Doesn't Lev kind of explain
You're good. Yes,
Yeah.
I think so. I think so. We went through a little dialogue one night about it.
Anyway, sorry.
And so, yeah, you're good. And so you can restructure them through force vibration or with your fingertips. You remember we went over that kind of. Tai Chi, they do that, and they get the sensation of where they vibrate the top of the cranium with a little bit of pressure and, just kind of tapping it. But besides that, getting back to the matter at hand, the shielding, that's what they wanted us to do. So people ran out, they went and got all the shielding, and they didn't look into what the real culprit is, y'all. There's this thing called thermal ablation. You can take a microparticle that has so many parts per million and so big, down to like 10 times smaller than a human hair, right? Almost the size of a cell. And it can be tuned to a certain frequency bandwidth. And when that sound that is increased now because it's been shielded, take 2 C forks, one, and get it within about a foot radius, and it starts to resonate. But these are scalar waves. These waves can propagate through solid matter because the chemtrails puts what they call a strontium in it. And this certain type of element, once it's inside of all of our plants and our trees, it takes its little space within the confines of the structure of that live plant. And that microparticle causes that plant to be invisible to scalar wave. Is one of the most natural frequencies that they're just learning about, y'all. They do not know, okay? Everyone has a DNA thumbprint resonant frequency tuned to a specific harmonic resonant tone that nobody's the same. We're all different. We resonate at 7.4 or 7.6, but we all have a certain signature harmonized resonance that's unique within our own biofield, brother. And it changes in oscillations within our mood, how we eat, and what we're involved in. It's wild. So this is in the biofield research, but there is a thing called terahertz to biofield surveillance. Okay, they don't need biometrics except just to pick people out by their face. They can still emit in a linear fashion across the substrate a terahertz frequency, just like in an airport. Those are not 5G towers anymore. That's ninth generation technology. They didn't go up one measure from 4G. Everybody says screaming 5G. It just doesn't work that way. They went up straight up to ninth generation, right before physical light. This is infrared terahertz frequency technology. That's what it is. It goes through solid matter, and it can pick up pink, white, brown noise, Gaussian noise, all of it. And it can render a 6-dimensional CAD rendering of the whole layout of the substrate. And I'm not even kidding.
They can pick it up off of micro scale, like pretty much they could map out anything, like your face,
anything,
your guts,
all of it. Anything that disrupts that frequency scalar potential, it analyzes it just like in an airport, everything. And it's going off now. The only reason why they can use this new system is because of quantum technology. That's that advanced.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I was just going to say that it would make sense because, like, you know, there's this real fast, like from 3G, 4G, LTE to 5G. And then all of a sudden there was just like, we're done at 5G, you know, like they want you to think that we topped out or whatever.
I got you. Mm-hmm. I was gonna point out, like, my brother freaked out when they first started, analyzing what the towers were doing, and he made a whole bunch of what they call orgonite. You ever heard of it?
Oh yeah.
So he would take epoxies or resins, and he would mix it with elk bone and a few other things, and he'd do symbolism in it. He put it everywhere around any of the Wi-Fi equipment just to absorb the frequencies. But you're right about what you're talking about. Wave propagation has a wave that goes with it, so it's going to cause other problems.
Yeah. And it's a vice versa thing, though, Roger. It's like if you block one, the other one increases, and vice versa. Yep. And the thing is, people want to say, "Oh, this causes cancer. This causes cancer." So wait. So what is the reactive function that occurs when an outside ambient frequency comes into contact with the deoxyribonucleic acid? What happens? Well, the DNA is smart, okay, because each one of the nucleuses is a brain. It's an actual brain. It's got its own way of thinking that's tuned into our actual electromagnetic field. Mm-hmm. It's getting all of its marching orders by unconscious, involuntary action that we don't even know about. And it's always marching orders within the genome that's already within the base pairs, which is really remarkable. Okay, involuntary, unknown, beknownst to us. There's billions of different functionality that's going on all through our body with bacteria right now, and they say they're micro machines, right?
Yeah.
Well, the miraculous thing is, whenever the DNA comes into contact with outside ambient frequency, y'all, it produces what they call a 70 kilodalton shock protein. Okay. Now, the thing about these shock proteins is it has an extra binary layer, an outside layer of protection that can make it instantly through lactic acid. If you're going through some kind of strenuous workout and you are very sore, it automatically produces these 70 kilodalton shock proteins that will go through that lactic acid and restore muscle health instantly. Okay. So you become superhuman. That's why they want to shield it. Don't get these, get the sound. You get what I'm saying?
That's what I think of all these old world buildings. Well, especially like churches, they were, going there to be healed. That's what using the organs and to harness the frequency
Yeah,
and
the
stuff.
sound is healing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a girl who went
Now-
over to Europe for like 6 months, and she went into
Yeah.
old cathedrals, and she was taking white noise, pink noise generators, and she was getting resonant sounds from,
Yeah.
and it was actually playing songs, literally.
I saw that. Yes. He was picking up these harmonics just from the structure.
Yep.
And I think those things could like heal whole villages. I mean, probably more than that, but I mean, you know, people would gather around these places to, you know, let's say for Sunday mass or whatever. I'm not technically, but you know, but it was more just go there and gather there, and they would all be healed and stuff, and harness energies that we aren't allowed to know about today.
Yeah, they had happy parks, I think it was classified as. You'd walk in and they had these big old tubes with these like cylinders around it, and it just like 7.4 hertz was coming out of it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And there's birds everywhere, all type of insects and animals, and everybody smiling and cutting up, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. So I want to get on topic because I've been going an hour now. So
oh, you're good.
I want to show how this fool here is pointing at Sabine Hasselfelder like she's a fraud, and she's calling them out for their fraud. So it's pretty funny. So I'm gonna play a little bit of this. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go hit the head. Don't mind me. Just listen to Professor Dave. I'm going to stop it before he gets going too far. I don't want him to copyright me. I'm sure he would if he knew I was doing it. Professor who? Professor Dave.
Most of you saw my piece on Sabine Hassenfelder a few months ago, followed by another much clearer video after her childish response. Well, her behavior has only gotten worse, prompting yet another installment in this series, so let's get to it. If you're new to this fiasco, Sabine Hassenfelder is a former physicist with a YouTube channel who has taken a turn towards promoting anti-science rhetoric as of late. You know, stuff like this.
Most of academic research that your taxes pay for is almost certainly bullshit. This is why I don't trust scientists. These people sit on cozy tax-paid positions with no other task than producing useless papers that no one understands and therefore no one dares criticize.
I made a very soft video elucidating some of her objectively fallacious and problematic narratives without trying to start too much direct conflict, but I was not terribly surprised when she released a response arrogantly doubling down on all of her ridiculous statements, insisting that science...
Now you got what I was saying, right? You understand what I was trying to point out, guys, right? They're attacking her because she's saying they're fallacious and full of shit. So,
oh, yeah. Academia is full of shit. That's what it is. And yeah, he's going to do damage control.
So we need to stop this. If they're frauds, basically, and they're doing worthless papers and putting out bullshit just to get paid, you know, they're not doing a job in my mind. They're not bettering humanity. They're making it worse, and they're spending money that could be gone to better causes for sure. You agree?
If they're writing papers that people don't understand too, they're probably
intentionally
they're writing papers probably super technical just so they can get the grant money. That's all it is. It's a Ponzi scheme. You know? All you got to do is go with the narrative, and you can get a grant.
She's trying to do legitimate work, and she's pointing out everybody's flaws to start with when she started her YouTube.
That's right. That's right. Now she did say something about. I think she did a video about Witsit one time or something. Or something brought up one of them or something. And then Earth Awakenings, Toby. I think he goes by Geo.
I know who Geo is, yeah.
Right? Okay. He dismantled her in a video that was like so friggin' awesome, dude. I don't know if y'all ever took the time to see it, but yes. Like she was going off on the flat earthers, like, and it was like really those kind of videos that like you could tell she's like smart, and then the way she just downplays the movement, like we're just ignorant or something. It just really it's that type of content that just really will piss you off. I mean, like, why would you say that?
I pissed Geo off when the last time I was in Discord, and Witsit was on his channel on Earth Awakenings, and I went in and started asking. Who was it? Rakia was in there. I started asking him questions like, "How you doing? What's up, man?" And this is all nonsense. We're worshiping Witsit here. Gio blocked me. He kicked me.
Oh.
I know. It's all right. I'm fine with it. I know it's a show with the Witsit and Jaren thing, so it's nonsense.
Bruh, they're so bad with. I'm sorry, y'all, and I don't cuss, but they're sack riders, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yep. You should see the last Jaren interview he did with some fringe pro-vaxxer dude that actually wanted to interview an ex-flat earther, so he did an interview with Jaren. It's the worst thing in the world, dude. It is. It's horrible.
It is.
Yeah.
It's bad.
There should be a recommendation. That's one thing. I'll never block anybody on anybody's stuff. Like even if you give me a wrench, I could care less. Whatever it is, what it is. But I'm just saying, like, or some kind of mod duty. But it's like there should be a thing where at least whoever's the owner of the show or whatever, it should just be like a recommendation to the owner, and it should be up to them. It shouldn't be like giving all this power to people that you may have a grievance with somebody, but the person that does the show may not. So it's like it's all ridiculous.
That's a good idea.
Well, I have certain people that have super moderator powers in my chat,
but still.
And I trust their judgment when it comes down to it. But I've had people like do stuff that I didn't want them to do.
Well, that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, it should just be a be like, hey, Roger, this guy's saying whatever, and be like, all right, well, it should be your duty to tell your mod, whatever level they are, to whether or not to block them or not.
Yeah, and I can't always keep an eye on the chat neither myself. It's
true. Yeah, I know that's why you put that duty on everybody or segregate that out to people. But
yeah. And there's certain people that have like full moderator powers, and other people just have basic moderator powers.
Right.
You know what? Out of everybody's, I don't even have a wrench.
Ooh.
I've only got a couple. I've only got a couple
wrench
places.
In here? Here, I don't even know.
I don't have any. Wait, I may have. You may have gave me one. I think you did off the dump.
Yeah.
I think you're the only one that gave me one off the dump. Yeah.
Well, I give everybody
they
a basic one right off
the foot in the door, and they go, "Wait a second, don't lock it yet."
Well,
unless I'm like asked to from whoever I'm, on. Like I'm not gonna kick anybody out. I mean, everybody.
I get on the panel too much.
I just as much as some people can get annoying to me, or they can say stuff I disagree with. I think that they should still be allowed to say what they gotta say.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's right. I kind of like going in the chat.
Yeah, I mean,
in the gray. You know what I'm saying? It's like under the
to me, it's like you give them enough rope to hang himself with. It's like eventually they're gonna say something stupid, so just let them keep going.
Stupid.
The first time I got into it.
Who's that one?
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead. I would say the first time I got into a decent chat with PhDs and a couple of professors and stuff, I went on Zetetic Warriors. We went over there with Flats, and I was just debating them left and right, and people were like, "Whoa, slow down! You're frying them." And before I got my ass kicked out, basically, I was going. Well, never mind. You had to be there. It's too much for me to think about.
You're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
So the chat is a thing though, because when you're on a panel, it's really hard to see all what's going on.
Yeah, too.
So that's why Roger is saying that, like, some stuff went on without my knowing, because it gets built up that way. So, like, Angela Baby Carson, you know who that is, y'all?
I know Miss Carson. Yes. What about her?
Okay, so they get in there on Sovs. No, not Sovs. Vlad's. They used to be at Sovs. Sovs shut it down about the upward earth.
Oh yeah.
Sovs used to blast their ass, dude. Oh my gosh, it is so funny. So Sov said, "Hold up, y'all." He said, "Wait, whoa." He stopped the whole. We was in the middle of a video. He said, "Wait a second. Hold up." He went back. He got on the screen. He said, "Now let me tell you something." He said, "This bullshit that y'all are talking about, this damn earth floating up." He said, "I'm gonna break it down for you real quick." He said, "There ain't one paper that I've read, one sighting that I've read that shows anything that makes me even lean towards that conclusion." And he said, "It is laughable at most." He said, "If I see any more of that shit in the chat," he said, "I'm taking you rich."
Yeah, I get you. So she got yanked her wrench.
Yeah. And then she got excommunicated.
Ooh.
And then they started going off. It was a night. I know, Bear, you had to be there, dude. Because they were going off on him and cussing him out.
I think I was in
And
Sobs
then
at that
he just
time.
blocked
Yeah,
him.
that was a while back when they did.
Yeah. And so they jumped over there to Vlad's channel and started doing the same thing. Vlad puts up with it a little bit because he's a little more lenient,
Oh, yeah.
you know.
Well,
But I get
we
it.
dealt with the Upward Rising Earth with a guy named Dell behind the imaginary curve.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So we took him on straight up on Flatsis. We just tackled the topic and we asked him
Yes.
for demonstrations, and then we need a cause and effect relationship. They don't really have a cause for it, but basically,
No.
where they got the idea from was Einstein and the equivalency theory. It's everything's equivalent, and even the main boys like Brian Cox, they actually go with it too because they actually think that the force is pushing you up. So nothing goes down to gravity; it's all Einsteinian.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the apple's hitting you as you're rising up. Is basically what's happening.
Right.
Yeah. But they still equivocate buoyancy in there. I don't know how that works exactly, but they do water bottle demonstrations, and there's so many makeshift. You just look into it if you really are interested. It's
I did.
My thing is like
it's
it's not for me. Whatever, I've seen your things. It's just not for me. I don't really. But at the same time, if that's what you want to believe, then so be it. You're free to believe that, but just don't call me stupid and say I don't get it. It's like it's not like that, man. It's like that's what kind of irks me a little bit. It's like oh, you're just not smart enough to understand. It's like don't tell me what I'm smart enough to understand or what I'm not.
Right.
It's like, but if you want to believe that, fine. Just don't push it on everybody.
No, but they do. Yeah.
That's what you can't push. It's the same with flat Earth. I mean, it's going to come to everybody in a different way, but don't call people stupid because they don't get it,
But dude, if it was really a thing, it would be a thing by now.
Sure.
Trust me, if it was really something
gain traction by now. Yeah.
By now, I've been on, and that's what they're not even getting. The logical fallacy that they're holding on to is not looking at the big picture of how truth really works, because it's really, y'all will even concede to this, that it is a frequency. Once you see it, it's undeniable, it's inescapable, it settles upon like that data set of that's what it is.
Well, you gotta put some stuff together, Porter, and bring it on, and I'll do a little presentation for you. I'm pretty sure you got a lot of data on it you've saved. Frequencies are a major cause in everything, definitely. But with the Upward Rising Earth, it's the constant. That's the downfall to the whole thing, dude, because it has to be constantly rising up at that rate. And where are we going, and what are we going into, and the cause and effect of that process in itself, they have never shown at all.
There's no free fall in acceleration, or whatever the hell it is.
The thing is, you look at an avalanche. Next time you get a video, look at an avalanche video, and then just think about rising Earth in that process. And how about parachutes? You're supposedly weightless in free fall in that paradigm.
Well, I mean, what do you call them? Skydivers use
that one right there just obliterated.
Yep. There's so many ways to tear apart it. We've torn apart.
Roger, you just obliterated it right there. Like I had some kind of little friggin' like blast of a thought whenever you said it like that. It was like wow, no shit.
Oh, Elder Bear's here. Oh,
that's it.
Hey, Elder Bear, where'd you go? Have you met Elder Bear yet? Anybody?
I've seen him in chat.
Yeah. Well, he's a Bev. You know who Bev is, right?
Okay. Is he here? Is he just in chat?
He's knocking at my door. Yeah.
Oh, bring him on up.
Okay, I got you.
Unless you want to get on with your little thing here.
Yeah. Hey, Elder Bear, you gonna be nice if you come in? Okay. Open the door a little bit. Hey, Elder Bear.
What's up?
Morning. Or afternoon.
How's your day?
Night. I don't know where you are.
It's night here.
It's
12 p.m. Yeah.
What's
so how's life been
what
treating you?
do you mean by Bevite? What do you mean by that?
Oh, on a level, man. You've been in his chat for a long time. Been working with him. I know you are.
Are you a flat site?
No, I'm Roger Ledwell. I go by my name.
I'm Elder Bear. I'm Elder Bear too. I'm not a Bevite. I don't know what you don't know what that's about for you. Why do you need to put people
Have
in
a
some
label?
kind of group? Yeah, why do you need to label people?
Well, you guys share the
We won't
same
do that.
ideas, you might say.
Well,
all good.
lots
We
of
won't
people have lots of people have the same ideas.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's free to.
What's your most original thought? What's your most original thought of flat Earth? What did you
My
come
most
up with originally?
It wasn't an original thought. It was just like I tested out what I was taught since I was
Taught
little.
by
Man.
who?
Yeah, school.
What
Mainstream
made
science.
you test? What
Well,
made you test
curiosity,
it?
dude.
I think there's
What-
some
what did
literal
you
like
test?
some regular stuff that you can go out and just look in the sky. Like twice a year, you can go at a latitude and longitude every year in the same location and see meteorite showers. That's pretty precise to have us go in 3 different type of speeds and directions and spins to actually go out every year since I was I'm 53, and for the last 53 years in the same latitude and longitude, you can see meteor showers every year. But
That's like clockwork.
yeah, that's one of the things.
No, creation.
And,
That's what you look at it. Yeah.
That's one that kind of got me, And then we have an ECEF, an Earth-centered, Earth-fixed coordinate system. Don't get me started on the Earth-centered.
Yeah.
That's pretty. Trillions of dollars of satellites runs off of it. It's pretty awesome.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a globe crusher
What
in
are
the
the things
fairs.
of what?
You know what I'm saying?
Did you see the Dragon X last expedition they did? I mean, that was amazing, wasn't it?
It looked just like the one before it when
Oh,
they brought back the Fakernauts.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to get back on my topic.
Yes.
All right.
Handle it. Go ahead.
Sabine and not a Professor Dave.
Right.
Yeah, here we go.
Science is failing, like a disingenuous fraud. So I did a follow-up about how science is absolutely not failing, highlighting how she has zero capacity to speak as an authority on the entire body of scientific knowledge and the communities surrounding every subfield within it, as she now attempts to do. I made it clear that she's just spewing anti-science rhetoric on the internet for cash, something that is blatantly obvious when you look at the view counts for the videos where she does this, and I described with clarity how she is one of many figures contributing to the avalanche of science denial that is tearing our society.
Avalanche of science denial.
Oh my
gosh.
God.
I'm telling you. Yeah, well, they're getting pissed off.
So why hasn't he got his booster then?
Oh, I'm sure he has.
Well,
Maybe he has.
Dude, it's only a matter of time, y'all. I'm joking.
Yeah.
Bless him. One of them they did.
Yeah. Oh, she's an actual professor. He's not. That's the really
Yes.
part. It makes this funny as hell.
I know. Like the irony in that. That's
I don't get why some people are allowed to talk about this. It's like you have to make YouTube a certain amount of money and have a certain amount of subs before you're allowed to talk about this subject freely.
Yeah, I know.
God, did he just vanish on us? Where did he go?
Come in and out.
He has problems with his signal. He's on his phone.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
And Restream takes a lot of data to do this.
Is he a Glober?
Well, he's a true Glober. Let's put it that way.
Well, if he comes back, ask him what he thinks.
Other story, dude. That doesn't include any of their physics at all.
Okay.
Bev is the guy I was talking about earlier. He was a surveyor, and he got into flat Earth. He went out disproving curve using flat Earth measurements. Elderbear's back.
Oh my goodness.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now he's back.
Yeah, this
you can ask him, Porter.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Stream map is terrible.
Oh, it's so good. I've seen thermal imaging of at what was it 3,000 feet and 1,200 miles away, and a horizon behind the 1,200 mile thermal image. Yeah, was it 3,000 or 4,000 feet? Yeah, I think it was something like that.
Yeah.
How tall are those towers? Yeah, and then thermal imaging straight through the Atmos, about 1,200 miles away, and there's a horizon still behind it. It's like the higher you go, it just keeps going up with you, right? It's
Yeah,
crazy. It's
it
just
is weird.
wild how it works.
Well, FE Nation says he's putting a little project together to send the balloon up, so
200 miles is what
we'll
he's
have
going.
to wait and see. I
No,
guess.
not 200 miles. What it was 200,000 feet. That's where he was going.
Yeah.
That's decent though, isn't it? Not 200,000 feet. I can't
Ways
remember
up
exactly
there.
what he said. Yeah.
It's,
They're doing 120 to 130,000 feet on average with a weather balloon. He's actually going to go up another 70,000
What?
feet. Yeah.
That's a big balloon, man. That's one of
he
those.
said he can do it cheap.
Yeah, that's the type of balloon that it's like a self-expanding balloon. You got to allow you put extra material on it because it keeps getting bigger. If I'm not mistaken, how that works. It'll explode at some point. If I'm not.
It will. When it reaches equilibrium, it will.
Gotcha.
The gas will escape. Boy,
Right.
any way it can.
So did we
Even
get to your
up there.
original thought, Roger?
Even
An
up
original
there,
thought? What do
Yeah,
you
your
say? An
original
original thought?
thought. Hey?
Oh, the first thought that I thought was by the time I was in 7th grade that gravity was a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
That was the first original thought I had.
Yeah.
That's not original. That's
Why is that original? I was probably like 12 years old, dude. That's pretty original for a 12-year-old.
That's
original.
But
thought.
way more original than I was at that age when it comes to gravity.
Their explanations didn't fit my observations. Let's put it that way.
It took me to 53 to find that 8.9 per meter square was just an average, nothing more than the downward bias of 100 volts per meter the higher you go. And positive always goes to ground. It just sets a little small stage of its bias down towards the earth. 100 volts per meter the higher you go. The sky is
I can
electric.
say
Positive
say
goes
that.
to ground. That just sets the bias. It wants to go downward, y'all. I like putting stuff in such a layman kind of viewpoint to where it's like, dang, I get it. That's so simple to get, you know? And then if you don't, it's like you literally are like not being genuine. Straight up. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Yeah, well, that's quite shocking, I can say, Porter. Quite shocking. There's a current flowing through the strata and the Atmos that actually has a current to it. Yeah.
That's right.
Well, it kind of leads into the mythos of ether winds. That I know where a lot of that goes.
If you know about a downward bias of an electric current, to be made in the physical, you have to have a Gaussian surface. And I know Witz had talked about this in the past. That's where I got this, actually, the baseline of that whole concept and looked into it. And of course, that's how it works. A Gaussian surface is a top, like the cathode and the diode, right? And so the positive field is always going to go to discharge. That's towards the ground. That just sets the bias. Okay, that's it. And then
there's a natural one that happens every time lightning strikes, too. Boom.
Yeah, it changes the polarity and it crosses the field lines up, and of course things are going to be lighter, right? Yeah.
They'll have that charge, and what is it? The density. What is the molecular bonds that are in structures actually get denser or more rigid? You might say, due to the electric current. Yeah, so they will levitate. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Yep. Everything is electric. All things are. You know.
I love Tesla, dude. I really do. I love his work. I can't. I never have been close enough to a Tesla coil to like, oh, that's cool. I could actually touch one. But I would. I've seen the workings of it. I've seen how it was engineered. Tesla was a madman, dude. He was.
Yeah, I think he was on some next level stuff, dude. I think that Thomas Edison didn't like him.
No.
And I think that J.P. Morgan did and wanted to fund him, and Thomas was like, you know, he had all this money and funding, and he was on the head of the top of the food chain, and Tesla was making him look bad.
You ready? You got to come up with an original thought. Everybody got one? Okay. He's back again. Right.
No, original.
Are you going to be able to stay in this time, Elder Bear?
Cubby said, original. It's all good. We all going to play fair, bro. Everything's
yeah.
all good. We're all human beings. Come on, we're all in the same boat originally.
Is his audio working?
I don't know. Elder, can you say something?
Oh,
Yeah,
can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you.
A1.
Oh, I just wasn't in the stream. I can hear you.
Roger that.
Trouble is, it's the
Yeah, it can be a little touch and go.
That's kind of
That's
why
that 5G.
I kind of have that restream just for such occasions.
That's that high 5G.
Well, bye again.
You're getting it now.
Boy,
But I
the ether is nice tonight, right?
Oh yeah. And, hell. Anyways, he's here to disrupt the topic. He wants to come in here. They got a grudge against, I think, Nathan Oakley and the crew that I've been with for a while.
Well, I like eloquence.
Yeah.
So
He's back again. Nope, he's not. Let's try him again.
Yeah, I've had this problem with the screen before too. We're popping in and out.
Boop, boop, boop. Restream is a bitch. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Especially if you got background apps open.
Oh, I do. I got to run a show.
No, I'm talking about like all the people that hone in. Like I'm on the phone as well. Yeah. I probably have background apps, I think.
Yeah.
Mine's doing pretty good.
Yeah, you're roboting a little bit here and there.
The problem I'm having is this Restream app keeps taking over my phone, right? It kind of freezes or kicks me out. I can't even turn my phone off. Can't do anything with it. So there's problems with this app. I've heard other people talk about it as well.
You need a computer to actually run it best, and that's what I'm on. So
I got you.
Oh, he's gone now. Again. Speak of the devil. Anyways, let's get back to the circus. You ready?
You good? Go.
Apart. In it, I said this: make a pointed and informed criticism about whatever you want. Just stop pretending that's all you're doing, because it isn't, and you know it. But do go ahead and make another response, tripling down on your rhetoric, ignoring everything I said, just so you can drop another brilliant ad. Again, I was not surprised at all when she did exactly this, tripling down on her insane lies just so she could drop another brilliant ad. Here is "Science is in trouble and it worries me," with a thumbnail that reads, "I call it bullshit research." In it, she spends about 15 minutes flashing graphs and exclaiming, "See, science is telling us that science sucks now." She also references Trump lackey Elon Musk, since his fanboys make up a big chunk of her audience, as well as Peter Thiel, the billionaire bozo behind the rise of the Weinstein brothers, and who funds a pseudo-journal whose sole purpose is to run articles dismissing climate change and evolution. She even plays a sensationalist...
Well, we wouldn't want that, would we? We don't want it.
Yeah. Climate change and evolution. God, what a
shill, dude.
God.
So he's on the mainstream bandwagon that they teach you in high school, and people that watch the evening news and do no research of their own.
Wow.
Professor who? Yeah. Woohoo.
Slave. Professor Slave.
Yep.
Slave to his own self.
And he's making.
You know why he drinks?
Go ahead.
You know why he drinks so much? Because he don't like living with himself, probably.
Or living at home in his mama's basement, one of the two. Do you know his history? He went to I think 4 different universities. Couldn't complete any of the programs they had for what's he in again? What's his field? Chemistry. That's it. Yeah, he couldn't finish any of them, and all the professors pretty much told him he didn't have what it take to actually put together a compound, let alone get a master's in chemistry. So he pretty much failed doing it. He became a musician, which he should have stuck at, but he was failed at that. And then he found this topic on YouTube, flat Earth for the most part, and he came in to debunk that. So
I think that's what a lot of them do. They try and find this niche, this niche against whatever subject it is, and they see, they see their subs starting to grow, and it's like, oh, if I just keep following the narrative, my subs are growing, I'm starting to get super chats, and next thing you know, It's like,
Yep.
yeah, you're just part of the establishment, basically.
Yeah. They're fed what to tell everybody.
Yeah.
The same with even McToon or Craig and the rest of them. They did the same thing to begin with too. That's how they built up their clientele. And there's a whole pseudo-scientific community that writes these papers she's talking about that send them super chats and fund them.
Right. Yep. I would even go
Beautiful.
so far as to say that Witsit and Jaron used to like have super chats pop up that they paid for, bro, themselves, just to egg it on, dude. Like, I know that, like, when he did the Kofi thing and he would have it connected to it, it would still come up. So he would get all his money back. You get what I'm saying? Like, well, like maybe a certain amount. But if it was like, he probably had some kind of way he could do it to where it was a transfer or something if it was him. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee it. And all that did was just egg on people. Oh, they're giving. I'm going to give. You get what I'm saying?
I got you. Yeah.
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 It's a technique to it. I'm telling you. And if you're smart enough, that's how you can get people. And that's how, what they call it, grifters. That's grifting, bro.
101.
So if you make a sock account, right, and you start super chatting yourself and you're spending your own money, only a percentage goes to YouTube or any of the platforms you're on.
Yeah.
You're not really losing a lot, and you draw people into it. They'll like super chat back.
That's it.
I think YouTube even does it for if it's something they want to push, because it's the same way they'll push certain channels subjects if it's something they like, like Globe versus Flat Earth or whatever, or what have you. YouTube will push obviously the Globe ones towards flat earthers even. So I think YouTube even has people or if not AI that just literally have bot accounts that just kind of make their bot accounts, and they have fake subs that just push these people out there for because they're trying to get people to be like, oh, this guy's only got 3,000 subs, or like I only got 16, but I don't do YouTube. But it's like, this guy's only got 16 subs. It's like, I ain't gonna pay no attention to this fool. But you get somebody like Jaron who's got 160 or whatever the hell he's got, and it's just like, oh, this guy must know what he's talking about,
Right.
But then you go there and then you see his engagement, and his engagement and his comments don't line up with the amount of subs comparative to like somebody like I'll just use Sav for example, who's not even close to what Jaron's got, but he's got more engagement. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
I'll give you what we did with super chats though. It was really funny. The day they got to Antarctica, you remember that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Me, Sav, we're on flats, and we're going back and forth. And Sav's like, "Hey, send some super chats right now just to see if they'll answer them." I sent three super chats while they were on the ice doing their first live, little tidbit, and I didn't get no reply to any of them.
Wow.
We were just proving that if they were actually live right then. So Flats has got it on his channel. We actually were live while they were live, so we actually did that. It was like, okay, so you're not answering my super chat, so where are you?
Wow.
Yeah. So
you know what? They should have had a lottery. This is how they can get them the next time, or anything that happens. You have a lottery where you have like 10 other channels that they don't know of that are flat earthers, that they have to, one of them has to be randomly picked at that time, and they go live with them.
Yeah, that'd be a good little system to probably have. It was funny. Roger Craig did respond to your super chat that one time, but it's funny because you could tell halfway through he realized who it was, because all of a sudden he's like, I don't know who this is, and then halfway through he's like, oh, this is the guy that's trying to fund it to go down to the Antarctica. It's like, oh, you didn't know nothing about him, now you know everything. That's interesting.
Yep. Well, he's already did 2 hit pieces on me, so
yeah, go figure.
Yeah. Just because
that's another thing people bring up. It's like, why, if you have you're this big channel, it's like, why are you going after these tiny channels? It's like they want to snuff out everything they can about the flat earth, just like anything else. They just got to try and diminish anybody they can. character assassinate and everything else.
That's it.
Elder Bear saying we're having a come to Jesus moment. Elder Bear, Flatsway's always been a Christian, dude. If you've known him as long as I have, he hasn't strayed from Christianity or anything. So it's not a coming to Jesus moment, dude.
Well, I would just say if you have a question for somebody else, let's say Flatzoid, since that's who you're talking about, go ask Flatzoid.
There you go. But I don't think Elder Bear can ask Flatzoid. He's been, I'm pretty sure, pretty much.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
Dang. So that
I don't know.
He's got an email, I guess.
He does have an email. Yeah.
Wow.
And there's an actual reason for all that, because there's a lot of baggage that goes along with a lot of those groups. They'll come in and start porn bombing you and stuff. I don't know if it's them in particular, but it seems to coincide with it. They're trying to shut down your channel, is what they're trying to do. And if you
let somebody on, it's got some bad stuff that they're showing.
Yeah, pop on, and I've had it happen on Flats' channel.
Then you got to erase your video.
All I gotta say is, don't get too big for your britches. It's like, those people that brought you all the way up to where you are, don't turn on them, later on, because all of a sudden, you got, let's say, paid off. I don't know if that happened or not. Just kidding. But, don't turn on your subscribers. Be the person that you've always been. Be authentic, all the way through. Otherwise, what are you doing this thing for? Of course, your subscribers are going to whoever's going to turn on you because you turned on them, dude.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
By the way, I would say one more thing to Elder Bear. No, he hasn't dumped FE.
Yeah,
he hasn't dumped FE. He's still a flat earther, dude. I hate to tell you that. Sorry. Anyways, he's just going to go off on different topics, because every time we go into flat earth, and we get a lot of flack from people like him. It gets old,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's frustrating after a while, because you hear the same. I mean, come on now. Look, logically speaking, if you can't
same arguments, dude.
By now, dude, you don't want to see, and you're deliberately not even. You're going against it, is what you're doing, and it's just pathetic, dude. It's pathetic.
Yeah, we got a lot of people that won't answer our questions, but they'll ask questions instead of answering the questions.
Yeah.
That's
now I've heard the argument. Wouldn't you say you've heard the argument, and you pretty much? Yeah. I wouldn't just say still man, but in your own words, kind of like forward and backward. Every type of argument you've heard, so it's like no way that any approach is futile. It's all covered, and then some. And you know what's so weird? You have to go back and teach them their model.
Yeah, they want you to do their research for them.
Yeah, they're not taught it fully in school, and even when you get into colleges and stuff, they don't really touch on it. They don't really have a full working model to speak of.
Well, if they can't admit and concede to general and special relativity being there are two models, right? And they teach the latter.
Yeah,
there's two models.
They don't go in the full part, because they can't inscribe everything to especially effects into a model.
Right.
There's things that you can't explain, dude.
Yeah.
And that's
when I say two models, there are two theories. All right.
Yeah.
So it's either the sun or the earth moving. We can't tell because it's relative motion, right? So that means there's a neotectonic system, they say, right? And then there is also a heliocentric. So they teach the ever-expanding universe of nothingness, and we came here by an amoeba of chance after some, energy. They don't want to talk about the
Big Bang, yeah.
Pre-existing energy. Yeah.
Well,
do you know what they call the cosmos? Right, exactly. Did you know what they say that the cosmic microwave background is from? The leftover energy from the Big Bang.
Yeah.
Isn't that something? Yeah.
Yeah.
Leftover energy.
Yeah. Well, it stopped expanding now, and it's starting to contract somewhat. And I guess it's breathing now. I don't know. I think it's a bunch of bullshit, to be honest with you. They just got different light frequencies from different parts that look different, and they call it redshift and blue shift.
Yeah. But the weird thing about all that is that the axis of evil, isn't that like this, like energy of either blue or red that's touching the earth too? Doesn't it go all the way back to the earth? Like all of them? Yeah. So that makes us so like important. Every observable celestial body has red or blue shift that comes back, and they call it the axis of evil and touches the earth. Is that how that works? Isn't that correct?
It's kind of their description, but it's kind of like a funnel.
Yes.
It funnels
Yeah,
out.
I got you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But the whole thing is, it's in relation to the earth. And not only just the stuff that we can see, the distant galaxies as well.
They're not really that far away, dude.
Oh, I know.
I guarantee that. Yeah.
I know. And I say it, but to think even everything out there spins in relation to the earth, everything above us, everything, all things above the earth. And according to page 21 on the observational approach to cosmology, which Edwin Hubble wrote to Harvard in 1929, which is weird because that's the same year that George Lemaître came up with the Big Bang. So there was some struggling going on, and you know what I'm saying? There was good out there, But Edwin Hubble said,
for sure.
Sorry,
There was definitely a struggle. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yes, there was some weird stuff going on in the 20s. Yeah. He said all things above the earth are symmetrical on all four corners. He said a younger earth would seem like it would be less dense, but it's not. It's way dense, and it's symmetrical on all four sides. Analogous.
Weird, huh?
Analogous. It's as if it's the centralized geocentric cosmology, which cannot be disproved, but it is unwelcome and must be avoided by all costs because of the horror of a special and unique position. So that tells you that they dismissed it on grounds of philosophical bias. That's it.
Yeah, they claim the same thing when it comes to like the religions and stuff. Like they have a bias, but there's things that in Christianity and in most major religions that phenomena that you can't explain or experiment with. That's why they developed the scientific method to begin with. That's why Christianity and even the Muslim faith actually invested in sciences back in the early 1800s. Man, they developed this method so they could weed out all the frauds, basically. Yeah.
Right.
And that's what's going on now.
And pick up and hide stuff as well.
Yeah.
From the other side use the tactics as well. So
of course.
Yeah. There's some pretty deep topics, dude, when it comes to like quantum physics and particle physics was nothing more but to hide the ether. That's it. Every atomic, nobody's seen an atom, right? I don't believe nobody's ever seen an atom.
I haven't ever seen one personally, no.
No, I think it's all assumed anyway. It's some type of elemental light, probably, but it's assumed. And if there is a rendering of it, it's printed out by a computer that's kind of been adjusted by man. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to pinpoint what it really is,
Let's go on an Easter egg hunt, a big one.
Yeah, that's right.
Find out who's manipulated this stuff for a long time.
And then they split it, right? They split something they couldn't see, right?
Of course, it made an atomic age.
Right. Right. That is so phenomenal based.
Yeah. Well, a lot of their observations that they and predictions they model everything with it. So, but they with the globe they actually assume their radius.
Yeah.
Before they go make observations, and they hit and miss on a lot of it, dude. But they try to get it as close as they can, and they just like with gravity with the Cavendish experiment. You know how many times they have to run those experiments to get an average, and all it is basically it's torsion motion,
right? But there's so many variables that causes that to change too, though.
Oh yeah.
But you know what I think they did, Roger? I think they actually walked outside and they got a bunch of scientists and they said, "Okay, we can see this far. Okay, we can see this far, and we're going to call it the azimuth. Okay, wow, let's look up. Okay, wait. Whoa. Yes, let's make it a globe, y'all."
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I think they did that for more political reasons, dude.
Oh yeah, too. Yeah. Definitely too. I think basically Copernicus is like, okay, they making me hide God, y'all. How we gonna do it?
Well, I don't think they can't hide it too much.
Right.
If you have a
they did a
you have
good job
mind,
for a little while though, dude. And I mean, not personally, because people have found God in Christ and all that. Don't get me wrong, I get it. But when it comes to His creation, they did really good at that to hide that part.
Well, I think that that's why they won't. That's why they go at flat Earth so hard, and that's why they won't give up the globe, because they freaking got so much invested in it, so much time, money, anything you can think of invested in this. They ain't gonna just like hand it over. You kidding me?
That's right. I even thought about this. I was like, I'm sorry, Roger. But
good. I was going to say, I've talked to like people here that are working the universities up in Colorado, and I've asked them about Einstein, and I brought up flat Earth in the topic, and they give me like a nod, like he had mentioned it in his he was here in Denver at universities doing lectures and stuff. Yeah,
reading off cue cards, huh?
I don't know. He could,
and it ain't just flat Earth either. That's flat Earth is connected to all these things. Everything is connected. As to why they want to make it all go away or silence everybody. It's all connected. Even going into
it connects even to the unified. Right, it's so connected, brother. It's a unified connection.
Like,
yeah. You get what I'm saying? Like,
you can't even grasp the parameters of it.
Even if you were to like get pulled over, right? Check this out, and then you go show up for a magistrate that reports to the government that is evil. Boom, it's back to the Bible. You get what I'm saying? Then you go outside, astronomy, boom, back to the Bible. You get a plant, genome, biology, back to the Bible. I'm just saying, the codes don't pop. This is the weirdest thing about this whole thing when it comes to atheism. Y'all, computer codes have to be written, right? They don't pop into existence. I don't give a dang. If you stop and think about 3 billion base pairs, folks, y'all think about this one. 3 billion codes in base pairs, folks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, I've done telephone work, man, and
pop into
the way that it bleeds into all the technologies. They actually do coding like that in their technology. Yeah.
It just, it's like getting a handful of white sand, right? And going to the corner of your desk in your office and putting it down and saying, okay, that's going to turn into a silicone chip here soon. Just wait.
And I'm not the first to say this, but I also think the rising Earth thing was to throw a monkey wrench into this whole flat Earth stuff too.
I do.
Yeah,
that's just me.
Yes.
It is. That's the Flat Earth Society. What they did, they took Einstein's equivalency principle and they applied it to flat Earth, a contained system. Yeah.
What if that's some delegates from that, just like you're saying, Cubby?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to be on the look now.
All right, now check out what I'm going to play out. I'm going to close up with
go ahead.
2 hours. I'm going to show you what I'm going to play out with, though. You'll like it. Remember what we were talking about earlier?
Right on.
All right. Let's open her up. You've seen the album for Justice for All, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to share that guy. There you go.
Right.
God, that's a lady. You confused?
Yeah, you can tell.
Lady
the
Liberty.
Scales and balances. That's not Diana.
Yeah. That's just Liberty. Yeah.
Okay, that is Liberty. That is Diana.
Yeah.
That's Brenda Liberty.
Brenda creates liberty right here, people. Ladies and gentlemen. A 60-year-old man dressed like a woman trying to pretend like he's something he's not. There you go.
Yeah, that's wild.
Wait a second. Whoa. Look at this picture, y'all. Unloosed.
Okay.
Those are ropes. Those are not chains. Yeah. So humanity's trying to hold her down.
Yep.
Like Liberty was loosed. Say, if you go and look at the statue, it's got the chains that were broken. And then this picture. So what did they really know? You know what I'm saying? Because I guarantee you, they're probably a bunch of Masons, though. You know what I'm saying? They're they're probably billionaires, though. You know?
Yeah. My uncle was a low-level Mason, and he wasn't like mysterious or anything.
I got you.
Yeah,
Look into the Pilgrim Society. They're high up on that. If you
But is that by luck, y'all? I mean, come on, that's the Lady Liberty, and the citizens have her tied down, y'all. That's not chains. Those are
have you ever
ropes.
heard of the Pilgrim Society?
Yes.
I've heard it mentioned,
Here,
but I've
I'll
never
drop
looked into it.
I'll drop a link in the regular chat, and then you
Right
guys
on.
can, if you feel like it, go ahead and look at it sometime.
No doubt. And they tied a blindfold over her in this.
Well, Justice is blind, though.
Yes, blind.
isn't it?
Yes, I get it.
Yeah.
But what is the real story behind it?
I don't know. I had to dig in a little more, but
Yeah.
this tour, when they did this album, they did a tour and they brought a full size statue. I think around 60 feet to 50 feet
What?
high. Yeah, and it at the end of the show at the tour, they would crumble the statue.
Okay.
They use a lot of special
Pretty
effects.
cool.
Yeah.
That's
There
pretty
you
cool.
go. I dropped a link in there, so if you guys
Right.
Thanks,
ever
Cubby.
feel like it,
All right.
Awesome.
Appreciate it. The
yeah.
Pilgrim Society.
Yes.
Whoever they are, we'll
Yeah,
find
it's-
out what
it's-
they're about.
It's an interesting rabbit hole. It'll open your eyes to a lot of what's going on now.
I saw a Rothschild, dude. I did.
Yeah,
No, and a Rockefeller too.
we'll bring it
Nice.
up real quick if you got it on there.
Sure.
Just to show everybody, just the main page, I guess.
I got it.
I mean, you can even go into like the music and look into the music part of it. It'll show you like the hierarchy of these people and whatnot.
Oh yeah, I see Kissinger right there, right away.
Actually, maybe you shouldn't show this, but anyway.
So do y'all know about the Kissinger report? You ever heard of that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have.
Oh, that's what's up. Okay.
W-
That's
I-
devastating.
yeah. Whose site is this?
Whose site? I'm trying to think of the name. Let me look again here. Give me a second.
Oh look, Bill Hicks is in here. I mean, Alex Jones.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to remember the guy's name.
I see
It's
the Democratic
Joel.
Party here.
I think he was a Dutch dude. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on this, but Joel Vander Regen or something like that. I can't remember, isn't it? Joel Vander Regen or something to that effect.
This looks fun.
It's
A lot of
you'll
reading,
like
dude.
it, I think.
That's some collateral damage on that page.
Yep.
Yeah.
Straight up.
No, I think somebody's trying to come in. I think it's Elderbear. Bet $10 on it. Let's see. I got Bev, Scott, and
Oh man, you just
It's,
started a whole new stream.
I'm not starting a whole new stream. I'm getting ready to get done.
I was joking.
I'm gonna let them in so they can listen to Justice for All. How about that?
Right on.
What's up?
All right, back to where I was. Where Justice for All is what I was going to play right. Yeah. There it is. Share and share alike, children. All right, I'll say hi to everybody. Hey, Bev.
Hey everybody.
Hey,
And,
everybody.
Scott dropped out.
Yep. Good
You're
morning.
here just for the end of the show. Good morning.
I came in to let you know there's a problem with Elderbear with his thing with this stream. That's why he was struggling.
Yeah.
We're well aware of it.
Yeah,
But you're well aware of his phone locking up.
Yeah, sometimes the ether works in mysterious ways.
Because he thought it was you kicking him.
Nah,
No.
it's probably Restream. I've had trouble too.
Wouldn't kick him in at all, man.
No.
All right. Say good night to everybody.
God bless
Good
Good night,
everybody.
everybody.
Unblock us from the stream. See you later.
All right. I'm going to get a copyright.
Yeah, you might for this one.
We do not own the rights to this song. We do not own the rights to this song.
No, we don't.
Slow it down just a touch. You won't get a copyright.
You think?
Yeah, I know for sure.
Ah, cool.
That's a little trick you can do. You know what else you can do?
What?
If you're playing a video and you hear it and turn it around, they can't copyright you after that either.
I go up to go down, don't I? Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. I think you turned it down, right?
I did.
Yeah. Yeah, you should be good there, I think.
Wow.
The best drummer in the world, ladies and gentlemen, Lars Ulrich.
Dude, that stuff is out. That is badass, baby. Good. Yeah, that's badass. All right, Roger. All right, brother.
That's your turn, brother.
Later, Porter. You like Metallica, Cubby?
Oh, yeah. I wore this CD out quite a bit.
I have a few. And a couple of their tapes, too.
I was actually I was a bigger Pantera fan, so, I mean, whatever, but yeah, I like them both.
What's your favorite Pantera song?
Oh, that's hard to say. Well, honestly, it's not what people would probably think, but Yesterday don't mean shit.
I like About the War. One of my favorites.
Yeah, that's a good one. Domination shit too, I like that. I like them all.
It's a Southern Turkey Kill. Now Scott's not coming in. I'll talk to him later. This is taking forever though. Not slow.
Yeah, I know. It's so long. All their songs on this album are long too.
Yeah.
Speed it up too. I think it does the same thing.
Yeah. I bet you if I put it on regular speed now, it won't hurt anything. That was a nice walk down though.
Yeah, I'm trying to think how many times I've seen these guys. Quite a few.
I've seen him play twice.
I've seen them play. Oh man, so many times really. I'd say the best one I've seen them with was, I don't know, they were all good.
Good show and they can play. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, they just did a tour with Pantera. Not the Pantera, but it was Pantera.
I've seen Pantera twice.
Oh yeah, that's probably the most I've seen.
I got the Cowboys from Hell tour. First time I saw
Actually,
it.
oddly enough, and not even on purpose, one of the bands I've seen the most, and I'm not even like a huge fan, they're not terrible or anything, but I've seen Disturbed so many times. Just because they're with other bands I want to see.
I got it. Are you down with a sickness, Cubby?
Say that again.
Are you down with a sickness?
Not really. I mean, like I said, they're okay, but they're kind of, I don't know, vanilla.
You know, that's fun, dude. Give me alone.
Actually, one of my favorite bands is Seven Dust. I like Seven Dust a lot. Oh, I was gonna ask you too. I assume you probably do. You like Clutch?
Hold on, I can barely hear you right now.
Yeah. So do you like Clutch?
We're almost done.
Oh, okay.
The song's almost over. Anyways, that was a good song. I like it. Now, what were you saying, Cubby?
I was just saying two things. I guess you probably missed both. I said one of my favorite bands is Seven Dust, and then Clutch. How you like Clutch?
I've listened to some of their stuff. They're
Not a fan?
all
No,
right.
okay. I thought you might like them.
They're based out of Seattle, right?
For some reason, I'm trying to think. Maybe.
I'm going to end the stream. Say about. We can talk after. Right?
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I can talk to you the next time.
Well, you can hang out here for a minute. Just tell me what you're going to say. Well, I'll
Well,
wait.
I forgot. I don't remember if they're from Seattle or not. I was just trying to think.
A lot of people don't know. Like a lot of the heavier bands came out of Seattle back.
Oh
in the day.
yeah, I know. Yeah, Pearl Jam, Nirvana. Well, that was all the Soundgarden.
Yeah, they're the pop ones, but there's other ones like Grunt Truck came out of Seattle. You ever heard of them?
Soundgarden was probably my favorite one to come out from there.
Yes, one of the first Seattle-based bands I ever listened to was Soundgarden. Actually,
Soundgarden.
I
they have Dinosaur
Louder.
Jr.
Yep. I know you're out there.
I know
you're out there. Yeah, I had that album actually. It had a cartoon drawing of a half human, half rabbit on the cover.
Was that the band? I'm trying to remember. Was that the band that was in Black Sheep? Or I want to say they were playing at the concert when he freaks out and goes out on stage.
I don't know what you're.
The movie. No, the movie Black Sheep with Chris Farley and David Spade. You ever seen that?
No, I haven't. That's
you haven't seen Black Sheep?
Nope.
Oh.
I should watch that. Yeah.
You should.
Yeah, okay. I've heard about it.
Maybe I'm saying it wrong. I'm tired, but hang on a second.
Yeah.
Not Black Sheep. What the fuck's it called?
Scott's in here now.
Okay.
Yeah. You met Scott, haven't you?
He's a drummer. I've been on here a couple times with Scott.
Yeah, he's fun. Aren't you, Scott?
Dude, I just called in to test out my new. I got new inner ear monitors.
Sounds pretty
nice.
good.
It does.
Does it sound decent?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Well, now you're robot.
When you use it on stage.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, like the bands that use the in-ears on stage. Anyways, Cubby Bear, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking Seven Dust is like my favorite band, dude.
Yeah,
Seven Dust is freaking.
I've seen them so many times.
Yeah, Morgan.
And you don't like Metallica? Come on.
Morgan Rose is like the best.
Morgan Rose, yeah,
that was a good.
You like
Morgan
Justice
Rose.
For All? It's a good album, I think. It's one of their
that was a good song, yeah.
Oh, Morgan Rose.
Yeah, Morgan. Like one of the best drummers ever, dude.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
He's awesome.
I thought you were talking about a song. I don't know who Morgan Rose is personally.
He's the drummer of Seven Dust.
Okay.
Yeah, the guy with the he looks like a clown.
Seven Dust fan.
Dude, Seven Dust is like freaking awesome. I love Seven Dust.
He was
You
married
bastard.
to one of the girls from The Price is Right.
Keep the conversation going. I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
Wait, what did you just say?
Yeah, he used to be married. He used to be married to one of the girls from The Price is Right.
Like one of the Price is Right girls?
Yeah, she was also on Playboy too. I can't think. Let me look it up.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, they had a horrible relationship. But hang on a second.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
dude,
they're. Go ahead.
I've been listening to them since their first album. What was that? 98, I think. Remember their first album?
Been a while. Oh yeah,
yeah.
Black.
What do you call it? Yeah, yeah. With the song Black, yeah. They've had tons of albums. Yeah, it's crazy. They had a new album out.
They've stayed on tour forever. They're actually coming to one of the casinos around here. Hopefully that's not the end of them once you hit the casino circuit.
Yeah, dude. Everlast was playing fairs, dude.
Everlast? Is he still doing it?
Yeah.
Everlast is still
Whitey Ford?
Whitey Ford.
Yeah, Whitey Ford. Yeah. Jump around.
I don't know.
Jump around. Jump up.
You don't know what it's like to sing the blues. Come on.
Yeah, I like that. I like the.
I'll be honest. I like that album.
Yeah, that was a good album. Except they played that song. You know that song that they play all the time? Like, that's all they play off that album? You know, the stupid, now you know what it's like or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that
wasn't his, didn't he have Uncle Kracker as his DJ or some crap like that?
Well,
no, that was Kid Rock.
House of Pain.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, House of Pain. Yeah.
Yeah, it was DJ. Yeah, from House of Pain. Yeah. I was thinking it was Uncle Kracker for some dumb reason, but
yeah, Uncle Kracker was his name? Kid Rock, which by the way,
I heard about it. I didn't see it.
Dude, you know what's so funny is my wife was telling me that at the capital, not the capital of the county down here, this tiny little town, all these Democrats were all freaking out. They were what do you call that? Protesting Trump. That's what they're protesting.
The day of rage.
They're all freaking out.
It's the day of rage.
That's what she's. Is that what happened?
That's what they're calling it, I think.
Oh, I didn't even know.
They had mental illness.
Dude, it's so funny though. I think it's funny.
It's the weirdest shit ever.
Well, Scott, you just missed Bev again, just by a hair.
I know. It's so funny, actually. I'm glad I dropped out because that guy drives me insane. Cubby, were you there?
You're not the only one.
You talked to him, right, Cubby Bear?
I was there. I didn't really talk to him much.
Yeah, that guy
calling him out for. I was like, dude, you're just asking sarcastic, freaking rhetorical questions.
And he knows you're not going to get an answer out of it neither. No. Did you come up with an original idea about flat Earth? Quick, hurry up. Tell me your original idea. Come on.
Are you asking now, or are you just saying what you said earlier?
That's exactly what he said. That's all he said. The Elder Bear came in.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Why are you calling me a Bevite? Because you hang out with Bev on his show and you do streams with him. That's why. You're part of the Bev crew.
They almost sounded the same when he came up. I thought it was the same person. I didn't even know.
Yeah. It ain't quite the same.
Granted, I'm sure they're from the same country, but still, they still sounded alike.
From the same country?
They're somewhere outside of they're somewhere outside of Eshwick,
somewhere in the UK.
Yeah, they're from Britain, and they got involved with flat Earth and they got shunned by a lot of people and they're hurt about it. So they started their own channel and they started their own thing.
Another
more
faction.
Power to them. Yeah, but they believe in a thing called a true globe.
I believe in a thing called love.
I believe just in the middle of my heart. What was that band? What was that? What were they called?
Meatloaf?
No. I was talking about the other band. I believe in a thing called love. What was that band, Roger?
That was The Darkness, right? Or no?
Yeah, The Darkness. Yeah. Sorry, Roger. Go ahead.
I never heard that one.
You never heard that?
We gotta look that up. No,
Yeah, he had a real
Dude.
falsetto voice.
Yeah, it was like a throwback, you know, like a total, like, kind of a parody. Kind of.
I got you.
Yeah, the darkness. Yeah, the darkness.
You know who's a good parody? You know who's a good parody band is Steel Panther. Those guys are freaking awesome.
Yeah, I've heard.
Oh, yeah.
Songs, yeah.
They're
Same
kind of a Van Halen rip off a little bit, but yeah. They're,
Oh, you know
pretty
who?
Funny.
Oh, you made me think of, you know that band that sounds exactly like Led Zeppelin? What are they called?
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of the name of them.
They're pretty good, though. They're actually a really good band.
I was riding in an Uber once, and a guy was playing them. He's like, "You ever heard of these guys?" I was like, "No, it sounds like Zeppelin."
Greta something. Greta Van Fleet. Yeah.
Van Fleet.
I was thinking the Greta
Since
Thunder.
you said that,
Greta Thunberg.
Greta Thunder. What's her name? Thunderbird.
Thunder ass.
yeah, how many?
How dare you?
Parodies has been done for Led Zeppelin in the world? Be honest. How many?
Say what?
How many cover bands have done Led Zeppelin?
Oh.
How many parody bands? Yeah.
Well,
But
but they just sound. They're good though, but they just sound a lot like them. You know.
Oh yeah, I'll give you one that doesn't. So I'll
You know,
play it here. Yeah, I get away.
dude, Roger. You know what's funny?
Are we still live? Real quick, are we still live?
Yeah, I
we
think
are.
so.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought
Yeah,
we were
don't say anything.
backstage.
Don't say anything wrong, Covey.
Yeah.
Don't say anything wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I have made that mistake the last time. I'm not going to do anything.
Did you hear about that, Covey Bear?
yeah.
Like,
No.
did
I
you hear
guess
about
not. No.
No. Who was
Whatever.
it? It was FA
It was
Nation.
Carl-
I was still
Carl.
alive, and I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I
didn't
called
know
in. And
that.
I was like, what's up, guys? And Roger was like, we're backstage. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I was like, so you're not backstage, bro, because you're still alive. And he goes, what? And then Carl goes, dude, shut it down. Shut it down.
I did,
And
and I
then-
deleted it. So yeah.
So he deleted it because Carl apparently said something wrong about NASA or something.
No.
Yeah, whatever that is. I'm not going to go into too many details in that. But
But
there's
dude, you know what's
there's
funny? Roger,
Go ahead.
speaking of parody songs, freaking, you know how I did, obviously the parody, the only freaking song I ever actually did, the parody of the Melt With You, So now every time I play it, my band is playing it, the actual original, Melt With You song, and I keep singing my words, like the Earth Doesn't Twirl.
Nice.
Like I keep forgetting, and I'm like, damn it. It's hilarious.
They can't really copyright a riff, though, can you?
You can't copyright a riff. No, you can't. You kind of can. I think they've done it before. So somebody won in court about just a riff, but like that's probably all bullshit anyway.
So have you ever heard this song? Take a look what I got on screen.
Tool, no quarter. I can't see.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You ever heard who did no quarter originally? Do you know?
Led Zeppelin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is actually this is one of the this is even better than Zeppelin's, I think, personally.
Yeah, it's way better.
I think I never watched this one or heard this
you
one.
haven't? Oh,
I don't
you
know.
gotta hear it. Here we go.
Well, this is
don't think
probably
so.
a fan video, isn't it? I don't think they made an actual
Well,
video for this.
No, they didn't make
Well,
a video. This is a
but it's
fan made a video.
I like the fan videos sometimes. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, they make some good ones.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for it? We'll give her a shot. Earshot?
Yeah. Give it a shot. Give it a gear shot.
All right. I'm making a Trump reference, but do you get it?
Earshot.
Earshot? Yeah.
Oh, earshot. Well, my band is Gear Shot with a G.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
We got the same slow intro that Zeppelin did, but it picks up a lot better than Zeppelin did, I think.
I always forget the name of the quarter. I know it, but like I forget.
We have no quarters. It's time to shut the door, turn off the lights. Never heard the song?
Not
No
how you're singing it,
coming home tonight. Yeah.
Roger.
Yeah.
Stick to
Yeah.
playing drums.
Oh, I can harmonize with some songs. Like yesterday, all my
Cubby Bear.
troubles seem so far away.
Cubby Bear, did you see
That sound
yourself
like the
in that
Boyz II Men
video?
version.
Did you see the DJ Moon?
No.
You wait. Did
Oh
come
yeah, I
here?
did see that.
Oh, you did, right? You're in the
Yeah.
video. That's so
Yeah, I
funny.
I've seen it.
Yeah. I got YouTube freaking took down my comment because I freaking I went on DJ's thing and I was like, yeah, I've been so busy. I can't. Well, I'm not gonna say it on here because I don't want to take it down.
It's
But
fine.
you know what I was doing in the video, you know, with the boom boom.
Yep.
So what I was like, I was so tired last night from boom booming buildings and freaking fighting evil. So YouTube took down my comment.
Nice.
I still don't recognize it.
This is a Zeppelin song, dude.
What year? I know that, but what year was this?
No quarter.
Yeah, what year
This,
did Tool do it?
Probably 2000.
this was done in, I think, 94, I think. Not so long.
It's live?
2000.
Yeah.
It was in
2000.
2000.
Okay. All right. Sounds about right.
It was on that album I pulled out on live the other day. That Salaval, the
Yeah.
Rarities compilation album.
I have that. I have the.
Yeah.
It's got red velvet in it. Not
Mhm.
real red velvet, but yeah.
Yeah, the little plush, whatever.
Yeah.
I
like the
can't
book.
believe I've never heard this. That's so crazy.
And I think Maynard chose this song for the vocals because he uses synthesizer on his voice. He makes his own. He carves them out. They're cones. He actually sings through. Resonates his voice like that.
Oh, for that sound?
Oh, yeah. He's got a whole bunch of like just
Little voice modulator
cones.
thing?
Yeah. They're made out of wood, dude.
It's like a Mikey Smith video. It's Mikey Smith.
And Jim Maynard and Mikey Smith collaborated.
Yeah. Is that Nibiru? It's Nibiru, isn't it?
Is it? It could be. I don't know.
It must
I doubt
be.
it's anything like that. It
I've
must be.
seen him play it live
Oh, no.
one time out of all the times.
Yeah. I've been to, I think, like around 15 of their shows. I followed them all over the country because I was doing vending work and backstage work, hand work. So
Yeah, I've seen him quite a few times.
That's awesome. I only saw them
in a
one
place
time.
called The Brick in San Diego.
I only saw them one time, dude.
God.
It's crazy. Yeah.
That had to be 93, I think. I saw them.
Trying to think
Before they
of-
were big. Yeah.
I saw them in 03 or 04.
I like the Lateralis tour, that tour the best.
I saw
Yeah,
them in
that was
Phoenix
around that time.
for that tour. They actually had a
Lateralis is like my favorite.
Yeah.
they had a laser show with they had a bird changing colors. They had like an eagle, like a hologram flying across the top of the stage, doing circles. It was pretty cool.
I was tripping my nuts off on that one.
Yep.
Dude, you're tripping your nuts off even if you don't take
Yeah, I
acid
know, right?
at their
Well,
show. At their show, you know what I mean?
This buddy, this chef of ours, he was a chef. And he came over, he's like, you guys ever had mushrooms and wine? I was like, no. So he picked up these mushrooms and wine. Oh my God, man. I was on Planet Nebula.
Comparably, Adam Jones could actually play anything in the world, I think. He may not be the best guitar player, but he can play a lot of styles.
He's good, dude. Yeah, he's like an originator. of a sound, you know. He started that kind of thing.
10,000 Days. You ever listen to 10,000 Days?
Of course.
The guitar work in that is exceptional, I think.
Yeah, that one's good. There's a lot of stuff in there though I don't like.
Thanks for Maria.
Like,
highly underrated. I like that one.
a lot of filler. Like the filler stuff. Or like the songs. I don't like the extra crap.
This doesn't sound like anything like Tool at all, does it? This is a great part right here coming up.
You know what this sounds like? More like a perfect circle. This is like, that part was like a perfect circle.
Wait for Perfect Circle. Still Danny, Adam, King, and Maynard. Classic Maynard.
Yeah, this is good. I like this. That's a cool riff. Damn.
Now go listen to Led Zeppelin and you'll won't listen to them again.
See, that's classic Tool right there. See the feedback? That
Surprised you're not
feedback?
counting right now.
I am. It's just 8. The 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8 and...
Now we're bringing back up.
Show us your boobies.
Yeah.
Hey, Roger.
Doesn't it remind you? Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No.
I was gonna say it reminds me. Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna talk. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Okay. It reminds me of Anima, especially the guitar work at the end. But that
Yeah,
yeah.
What did you have?
I just posted a video in the private chat.
Oh, I thought
It's
Roger
actually
said he had an enema.
Oh,
No.
Roger, this town needs an enema.
You need one now.
Remember that, Batman?
Yeah.
So Roger, you need to come to the Seven Dust side play this song really quick. You don't have to play all of it. I just want you to hear some of it.
Come
This
to the
song-
Seven Dust side.
Yes, come to the Seven. You know what Seven Dust is actually? It's poison. It's like
I know
what
what
is
it
that?
is. Yeah. It's for gardens and
yeah,
it's
weed killer.
it's a
Weed
du-
killer.
No, it's for bugs, dude.
Well,
Bugs.
bug killer. Yeah, bug and
Yeah.
weed, whatever. My bad.
Yeah.
Same thing.
It's
Same
for-
thing.
it's
Bugs
for
and weeds.
aphids. It's for aphids. That's what eats most of the plant stuff. So it was
Roundup
an
dust.
aphid killer.
It's
Roundup
is that,
Yeah. You
yeah.
go.
Yep.
So play just any of it. All right.
Yeah, just play some of it, and tell me you don't think freaking that band is awesome. You know,
Which song is your best?
I'm giving you one of my favorites. It's not newer actually. I thought it was newer, but it's not.
Okay.
It's an older
Seven
song.
Dust. Okay.
They got a lot of albums, and I got lost in the sauce.
Lost in the sauce. I hope this stream stays up. Actually, with all the stuff I'm playing. All right, let's give them a listen. All right.
Well, you're playing it's funny because you're playing my song. Well, no, my video.
Well, I went to the wrong
Back
one. Hold
on the private chat.
I know I got it. I just pulled up the wrong one. There's a yes. Is that it? Yeah, that's yours. Okay.
Yeah, I said yes. I said yes. This is good.
Yes. Okay. We'll give it a
It is
shot.
cool. It's awesome you're on Restream too, because it's so much better than StreamYard. You couldn't even do that. I would never even tell you to play any song.
Yeah, that's why I try to stay out of StreamYard because it doesn't have as much quality, And the only reason
audio is horrible.
Yeah, the only reason I'm going to do anything on StreamYard is for Lev when I do his stuff. If I can, I can't get back on for another week or two, so I can't do StreamYard stuff. So let's play them. See what this sounds like here. Ready? Ooh, Mastodon came up.
Transcend. We try to rip the shell away into the void without a trace. The kind of measure you have no room to.
Yeah, this is a good album. Kill the Flaw.
I've heard this song before. I like to get the chorus.
The words are good too. The words are really good.
You haven't even seen it before. You. It's coming on the chorus right now, isn't it?
See, that's the thing. It's not really a chorus. It's all verses. It's like that's what's cool about it. See, you bite your tongue and stay asleep.
Yeah, that's nice. It is. I like the song. But
The whole album.
I think
That one's a good one. Kill the Flaw.
Yeah.
I don't want to get a strike, man, because I
Yeah,
think I
don't.
played this on here before with you, Scott. You brought it a couple of times. I played it. They sound like Disturbed to me. They really do. They got the same
Don't
kind of guitar work.
don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, you gotta you got that.
That's
It's
just that
definitely-
song, though.
Yeah, that's a good song.
That's what I like about that song. It's fine. I just wanted you. Okay, Roger. You don't have to come to the 7th side.
Oh, I like them so far. I had to sit down with an album, play it. We're going on 3 hours, gentlemen. Yeah.
You got like
And we
15
played a lot of
albums.
music.
So
15.
all right, guys. I just called in to test out my new situation and to say hi. Peace.
Sound good.
Later.
You do.
Later.
All right. Later, Cubby.
Yep. Take it easy, brother.
Good night, everybody else. And by the way, I opened up with Jim Anus. You watched it, All the Stars for the first 20 minutes, Cubby.
Oh, I saw his anus.
You're opening the ant. You open with the anus, huh? You opening the anus.
Oh,
here comes
Ryan's
Ryan.
here.
Look at all these people coming at the last
Ryan.
Yeah,
I see how it is.
Ryan.
I see how it is. Yeah, you guys just come. You just take off.
Kicking you out of the party.
I thought you were asleep, dude. You left PJs, and I don't know where you go.
Yeah, that's what I think.
It was like it wasn't working in the garage, and I was just like, I didn't know the garage right at that point. Then I was gonna go for a ride, so I went for a ride, and then my bike died, so I had to push it back. So I've been having a lot of fun. I just pushed the bike back like a quarter mile down the road. It's been one hell of a day.
Dude, now I just think about
somebody sent me something. So my neighbor gave me some more wheat.
Whoa!
I can't even run out of the shit he gave me the last time, bro. Like I can't smoke it all fast enough. There's there's a couple pounds in there, bro. I never run out of pot.
What kind of neighbors you got?
I got some cool ass fucking
He's got
neighbors.
cool.
I'm a cool dude, man.
Yeah, dude. His neighbor gave him a go-kart the other day too.
Dude, they give me he just gave me a almost brand new engine.
A go-kart.
He just rebuilt an engine for it, and he gave me the motor too. Yeah.
Dude, Roger, I just think Ryan is the guy. Ryan is the guy in NASA. Remember the NASA guy? Now I just think about that now.
What's that?
The NASA Ryan guy.
That's better. Yeah. Now we're going through the woods. See?
That's beautiful.
All right.
I know.
It was a bald guy in the NASA, flying in NASA.
Well, I'm gonna drop out because I'm half falling asleep. I've been for a while, so it's good catching up with you guys. I'll talk to you again.
See you later.
Go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, go to bed. Go to bed.
You go to bed.
All right. So Ryan, we'll catch up with you right quick since we got you on the spot.
On the spot.
You are. You're right in the spot.
I got the pot too. I got lots of pot.
He's got the pot in the spot. He's in the spot. With the pot. Dude, imagine what kind of world is this now where he could just show that and be like, it's fine. It's totally fine.
Nothing wrong with that.
Look.
No.
Oh, I know, but 30 years ago, we ain't doing that.
I would still I wouldn't have been doing it online, but I would have been telling you about it, just not online.
No, I know that's what
not live.
That's what I'm saying.
Not on a live stream, yeah, exactly. Or I might just can't tell where I'm at.
Does anybody know who Wojo is? Is it Mojo?
No, it's not Mojo Shop. I was wondering that.
Anymore.
I know
how many 44 and 4 jacks are there? And how many Brenda or whoever debates? Whoever the fuck it is debates.
Whoever debates.
Yeah, it's just fucking. What the fuck, dude? How many trolls can there be?
Dude, the first time I actually got Brenda on the show, I got her to go to 3 different concessions. It was so bad. Yeah. Well, it was. Yeah, it was easy to do too.
Dude, do you guys see a lot of Rogers?
Listen to me now.
Do you guys see a lot of Rogers or a lot of Ryans? I don't see many Rogers or Ryans, right? Not many.
Really? There's Ryans all over. Dave's, Ryan's.
We got Unindoctor Ryan.
Oh
Ryan Aiden. And then we got Ryan Saab's son. So there's a couple Ryans.
Oh yeah.
And I know a couple more on Discord too. I know a couple more guys.
And there's somebody running around calling himself Roger That. I think he's a Roger.
Oh really? Roger that. Roger that.
Yeah, there's a couple of Rogers. There's also a Roger something else.
That's why I put my middle name and my last name in there.
Yeah. Not that it's important, but.
But you're the second though, right? You're junior. You're junior.
Yep, I am.
Roger Jr.
He's a junior. He's a junior.
There's a Roger Senior. There was.
I'm a senior.
You got
there was.
It's funny. My daughter, when she had my grandson, she named him after his dad's last name, right, which is McGee, and she named his middle name after me, which is Ryan, and then his first name, which is Caden. So it's Caden Ryan McGee.
So
I thought that was pretty respectful.
Chance?
Bobby. No. Bobby who?
You know, me and Mr. Bobby McGee.
Yeah, I'm Bobby. Me and my Bobby McGee.
Janis Joplin.
Janis Joplin. Damn, dude, look at all this. All this weed. So much of it.
You got like 3 times as much as you got last time, didn't you?
Yeah, I think so. And it's a little dry. I'll have to put some moisture on it to make it taste better.
That's what you did the last time. Yeah.
But I could make butter. I could make a whole batch of cookies with this, dude. Make some
you could definitely do that.
All the stuff that he gets, he buys clones, so they're always good. It's always good weed. It's always like club weed. It's just a matter of feeding it.
Clones.
He grows it right in the backyard, like it's not like it's another thing, like a vegetable. He doesn't care, you know. They don't produce a whole lot, but he still gets quite a bit of weed out of it. He don't smoke it anymore, so he just gives it to me.
Well,
what is that? That's like a pound. That's like 2 pounds.
Yeah, dude, it's okay.
That's like 2 pounds. Yeah, that's 2 pounds.
No,
maybe 3. Maybe 3 pounds.
Yeah, it's quite a bit of weed.
That might
and
be.
It's all dry. If it was moist, it would.
It's more like 4 altogether.
It's like 2 or 3 plants. He said. Yeah. He said he just didn't feel like trimming it, so he just threw it all in here, and it all just broke off and fell off.
Yeah, pull the stems out. Get all the stems out. Yeah.
Thank God my wife doesn't know the difference between stems and splitters. So.
Hey, show. What does the actual bud look like? Like an actual good bud. Like show like the bud.
Get the biggest one you can find.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, that looks pretty good.
It's pretty good weed. Yeah, it's got.
Yeah, it's kind of decent.
It's good shit. Yeah.
Hold on, I'll put you
like
on
I said, it's club
weed.
Pull
it up there. No. I see red hair in there a little bit, son. I think I see a little red.
One. Here you go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I always break all the little leaves off before I smoke it, because you never know if there's dirt and stuff on it.
So was that all cured? It was all cured properly?
Oh yeah. He hung it up in the garage, and then after it got cured, then he put it in here, and it stayed fresh for a while. And then once it gets dried out, he knows he can't sell it, so he'll just give it to me. And I'll do is I'll put a little piece of toilet paper in there, or a little paper towel with a little bit of moisture in there, and then set it out here in the yard in the sun for an hour, and then put it away and let it sit, and it'll moisturize the weed, and it'll taste just like it was when it was good.
Yeah, or like apple.
It's a little harsher. Carrot. It's a little harsher. Yeah, or whatever. Just
orange.
Yeah, it's good weed, man. It's good weed. It just needs to be moist. A little bit of moisture on it.
Of my place right here, I can walk to 3 different dispensaries right now.
You're in Colorado.
Yeah, they grow all of it there, don't they? So they grow it here in California and there.
Yeah, I got a friend like you got here in California now. He's in Riverside County, so he's got to grow out there. It's pretty cool.
My cousin gave me some, but it wasn't much.
But his biggest
like
complaint
400 plants. He had to pull
is they regulate his grow, dude. They'll come out and check it too. You can only grow so much.
Both of the guys that I deal with, they say that they grow what they grow, and the cops know all about it. They fly over with the helicopter and see it, and they never say anything. So they say, just keep growing it just like I do until they change, until they come and tell me different. I said, they probably come over and spray shit on it in the middle of the night. He goes, well, they better not be doing that. I said, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. That's why they want to know where it's all at, so we can go spray shit on it for you to make you turn into a retard or something.
Before we get pulled by somebody who's going to report me for that,
Make you turn into...
Like I was just saying, that's my opinion, man.
what was that stuff called that they were like spraying with formaldehyde? What the heck? You guys have that? Oh, what the heck was that called? Spice. It was called Spice. Spice.
Yeah.
They were doing that with weed when I was growing up, dude. They really were.
Talking about Dune?
No, they would actually add formaldehyde to the.
Yeah, because then it became angel dust.
They do it to cigarettes, don't they? Don't they do that with tobacco too? They add shit like that to it.
I don't know.
I heard they did, but I don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah, it's all
a lot of other shit to it. Yeah.
It's all bad.
Not true, but it's all bad, I'm sure, but I don't know if it's true. They probably put lots of things in there, but I'm sure it's not formaldehyde. That seems like a little risky, but they do put TSP in cereal, so I guess,
No, it wasn't formaldehyde. I meant that was something else. I was talking about that spice stuff, which was some other chemical they sprayed on it, and they're like, people are like, "Oh, we're getting high off of it." It wasn't even weed. It was just some kind of like hemp.
Oh, salvia? You're talking about salvia?
No, not salvia. No,
salvia makes you fucking trip out or something. I've never done it.
Yeah, salvia. It was like it only lasted like 6 months before they pulled that shit off. What are you talking about? The what do you call it? What do you call it?
Spice.
Yeah.
Spice. Yeah, it's that fake weed shit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's that phony weed. Yeah, they call it spice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Did you guys have that over there in California? They're probably not.
I don't think so. I've never heard of it. I've never seen it.
Because you guys were already legal over there, like 15 years ago.
It's been legal here since '92 or something like that.
So there's no reason to do that there, but it was in Florida.
I had a medical card for a while, but then when it became legal, I didn't bother getting the card anymore. I mean, the point.
Yeah. Why would you? No point in it.
Even though technically the only way I could carry it on like a ship or something with me is if it was prescribed.
Yeah, if you had a card. Yeah.
But I'll get the card if I have to.
I'm going to close down the stream, boy and girl.
Okay, fine.
And
sorry, I'm late.
It's all right.
I got tied up.
You didn't know I
was pushing my bike. and I was like, shit. I always thought I'd see who's on, and I saw somebody was live. I was like, oh shit. And then I saw Roger. I was like, shit, 2 hours. Shit, he's probably gonna shut down. And sure enough, shutting down. I'm like, fucking bastard.
I joined like 45 minutes ago, and he was already shutting down.
Oh really? Oh, I see. So he's been going on for the last hour or so.
We've been going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Peace.
All right, guys. Good night, people. Good night. All right.